Hello? Hello, is my mic working? Mic check. Remove pin message. There. Hello? Earlier, my electricity was like flickering in and out, and I was so scared. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to stream today. Also, hello. I just came back from playing Oxygen Not Included. The game has consumed me, chat. Hold on. I just need to wait for VTube Studio to load in, and then we can go to the game screen. It was a perfectly cold day for stream, yeah. Game. Oh, just when the ad breaks ended on Twitch. Where's my game? Huh? Is it because it's minimized? Huh? Wait a minute. Where is it? Window cap. Oh. Huh? Why is it not capturing? It's capturing VTube Studio, alright. Okay, there. How's your week been? I've been on a little drawing break, so I've just been playing Oxygen Not Included, like this whole time. For those who don't know, Oxygen Not Included is basically like a colony simulator where you spawn inside a planetoid and you have to make sure your colony doesn't die in the planet. And I've been making some good progress on it. It's come to a point where I am removing more carbon dioxide than my people can produce. So that's a problem because the carbon dioxide feeds some of the critters that I have. And without carbon dioxide, they'll starve to death. So that's a thing that I am currently struggling with in the game. And then I've gotten into diving into like guide videos. that's how you know you're addicted. You go to YouTube and look at tutorials. I went to look at like self-powered oxygen generators, or like the SPOMs. Now I've successfully built my first farm, but it hasn't started running yet. Guide videos, yeah. I've looked into how to tame metal volcanoes and also how to figure out the steam vents because I've encountered them on my map now, and they're currently dormant, but I am afraid they're going to spread a lot of heat into my colony and it'll just cook all my duplicants alive. Those are currently some of the problems I've been encountering. But yeah, I might give you guys more updates. I can't really stream it, unfortunately, because my computer will die if I ever have OBS running while I'm playing the game. They will compete for my graphics card. Potato PC. Yeah, so for now, we're just going to do visual novels. Because that's the least resource intensive game that I can play on stream. Alright, where did we last leave off to? Right, we finished the hiking moment, so we're about to go into planning. This is basically party planning. Hello Druki, love your VTuber design, thank you so much! Look, this is a special outfit actually. It's I have my painter's overalls and the cardigan. Yippee! This is the comfy outfit, yes. Alright. Now, going into party planning. This isn't even like our birthday party. It's for our friend. You can't even play Roblox without glitching out. Yeah! It starts PowerPointing. I've noticed. I went to like rewatch the VOD for when I played Roblox. The stream started PowerPointing, like 5 frames per second kind of deal. Oh man, it's because this is a 6-year-old computer, I tell ya. Alright. You cozily laid across your bed, lightly dozing in the morning sun. You heard birds singing outside your window and the occasional rush of the wind. But what you were really listening for was your phone, any minute now. It was a little while later when your ringtone cut through the silent bubble of your daydreams. You eagerly sat up and plucked the phone off the blanket by your side. Hey! A forced, deep voice on the other end answered you with an almost threatening edge to their tone.
Hey!
Mori, do you know who this is? I am on my way to your house. You better be prepared. Well, okay. This situation normally would have been worrying, but if you hadn't been expecting to hear from your goofiest friend Terry, or if the caller ID hadn't been invented yet. The two of you had important matters to discuss, that's why she was coming over today. You played along. You answered her normally. You played along to her covert scheme. I do, and I am ready for your arrival. Good, very good. Now this is a crucial matter of security. Is there anyone else in the room right now who might overhear this conversation? We are too close to the finish line to get our cover blown now. Glancing side to side, you observe your surroundings and cupped a hand close to the side of your mouth for added secrecy. No, I'm alone. Our secret mission is still intact. I wish I could I knew I could count on my trusty cohort. I'm equipped with the fortitude to guard any classified information. You can trust me completely. Terry momentarily lost her serious tone and laughed. You could hear the smile in her voice. That I can. Just to be certain, you went towards your bedroom door and poked your head out. You couldn't hear a peep from anywhere, so you plopped back onto your bed. Yep, I can verify we're all clear. Anyone that's trying to learn our secrets has failed in their mission.
Very nifty.
Excellent, all according to plan. It wasn't hard to understand why Terry was so invested. Tomorrow was Miranda's 19th birthday, and the entire occasion needed to be perfect. Usually, the Eckerts hosted a party for their kids, but this year was different. Miranda had no clue that you, Terry, and Cove were putting the whole shebang together. The pressure was getting intense. There was less than 24 hours before showtime. Miranda's friends and family were counting on the three of you. Only the three of us? Only 3 people organizing the party? Good lord. With how many packs? How many people are like expected to attend this birthday party? Carrie dropped her game completely and got to the point. Are your moms gonna let you borrow their car? I don't know.
Oh.
Oof, that's not good. The strain in Terry's voice wiped your smile away. This wasn't originally a problem. Cole was supposed to be the driver, but his request for time off work only allowed tomorrow for the actual birthday. So you could rely on him to help decorate, but you and Terry were on your own today. Organizing a party is not easy. Yeah, there's like, you gotta deal with decorations, the venue, food, especially the food. You gotta deal with the food. I haven't eaten anything today, Mori. Oh no. Don't talk about food. Oh no. You're not gonna like this. This is a party we're talking about, Nil. We gotta figure out how to get to an actual party supply store. Yeah. It seems we've reached the first crisis point. That was fast. Okay. Can't we use the supplies her parents already have? We make the decorations ourselves. We really shouldn't have put this off until last minute. Oh, wait, what? You guys are doing this last minute? I thought stuff was underway. If there's a will, there's a way. I'm like, we shouldn't have put this off at the last minute. Also me becomes late because I've been playing Oxygen Not Included. Got late to stream. Because I've been busy micromanaging my colony. Yes. We shouldn't have put this off last minute. We had no choice. This was the easy way to make sure Randy never caught on. She can't discover what we're orchestrating if there's nothing for her to find at all. I stand by that. And besides, I'm thinking way bigger than a bag of streamers we can easily stuff away in a closet. I want to find something new, something fresh and cool, but what? Actual reason Mori was late? Exposed? Well, that plus the fact that setting up stream, my computer couldn't do it fast enough. That's why, like, last minute, just like 1 more minute of gameplay on Oxygen Not Included, and then I can start my stream. And then time is up, and then I try to open OBS and it doesn't open. New video in my recommended. Dog VTuber lies to audience. Real, not clickbait. Hey man, this is like the only time I could ever play it. It's so real. Yeah, it's addicting. The game is really addicting. Like, I don't think I'll ever get tired of it, because you can just start a new colony and then there's new challenges you have to face, which is like really cool. Ah, I know. Her party should have a theme. We can make all the food and decorations match. It'll look nice. What kind of theme? Cole had a theme party once. I wish my moms had given me a theme party. No, this isn't about you, Mori. What kind of theme? I'm still working that detail out. That's fine. We'll have a little wiggle room left on the clock. I've been playing this gingerbread game on my phone that I'm sacrificing sleep for them. Cookie Run? Are you playing Cookie Run? Gingerbread game. The only gingerbread people I know are Cookie Run cookies. Yes! Haha! I knew it. Are you playing Kingdom or Oven Break? I haven't tried out the new game though. Tower? I don't know what the new game is. I've only been sticking to Kingdom for now, and I've lost interest in Oven Break because it's gotten really cluttered. But I started with Oven Break. Huh? Oh, my computer froze for a second there. Kingdom, yes. Oh, all right. The new update has like, they put in the Chinese server exclusive cookies into the global server, right? I haven't played the update yet, so something to think about. Usually my addiction to Kingdom is very seasonal, in short bursts. Probably like during specific updates I'd go back. Just thinking about it makes me want to play. Oh, the addiction! Be careful, Nil! Be careful! The app just opened by itself, I swear. Oh man. Had you started playing when the music events happened, you could have played the rhythm games. The rhythm game minigames. There was a BTS collab and they had like a mini game where you had to, or essentially a rhythm game. I hated that mini game, honestly. I couldn't do full combos. But yeah, cookie game. Eepee! I've been a fan since I don't know. Since Oven Break. No, I didn't. No, you don't have the BTS cookies. I'm not even a fan of BTS, but I only have like one missing from the BTS cookies. I couldn't get all of them. There was also like a Sonic collab, Sonic the Hedgehog. Very timely to talk about this because the Sonic movie is coming out. Like, I have Sonic cookie and Tails cookie. I wish they did another collab where they put in Knuckles and Shadow at least, or maybe Amy. When it was a really early collab, way before even BTS. I didn't get to like fully upgrade, fully build Sonic and Tails, but I do have them. They're roaming in my kingdom. Very fun. They only have English voice lines though. They didn't give them Korean voice actors. Anyway, that was a tangent. Back to the game. Exactly! Now that we have a direction, we'll put our noggins together and figure out the perfect theme. And then we need to get all that stuff for it and put it together at the party room. Your mouth pressed into a hard line. Having a theme wasn't exactly progress, but just another thing you needed to get done on top of everything else. You kept that train of thought to yourself and chuckled. This event was going to be a Herculean feat. But you had faith in your friends, and together you'd find a way to make it all work somehow. Somehow. Oh, and don't forget there's that small problem of how we're even getting to the store. That's non-negotiable. We have to go today. This needs to be huge! Miranda's parties used to be so big. She always had the best birthday, at least before. Yeah, you never did get to go to any of the big birthday bashes Miranda's family would throw during the summer, but you'd heard all about them over the years. Both Terry and Miranda delighted in retelling those stories. Unfortunately, the past couple of years had been too difficult for an event on that scale. Everyone was older and 10 times busier during the summer. I need a drink again. Oh, I still have oxygen not included, guys, opened up. I have a tab open on the oxygen not included wiki. No! That's how you know. That's how you know you're addicted. You open the wiki. No. No. Alright. Back to the game. I just needed to check if the stream was running properly. YouTube isn't doing well, but oh well. Stop the addiction! No! No! I haven't played this game in like 2 years, I think. Now that I'm back in it, I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. Terry groaned, understandably getting worked up over that struggle. Miranda doesn't even want any presents. All she asked for was for her friends and family to get together. You already have the perfect party room booked. That was supposed to be the hardest part. Everyone from Miranda's parents to you and your friends pulled your money together to rent out an actual event place, instead of having it at her house or a public park. For a while now, Miranda had been insisting that she didn't need anything, but none of you could pass up an opportunity to show her how much you all appreciated her. It isn't even because she used to have big parties, you know? Even if that never happened before, this has to be as good as it can be. Terry's mumbling grew increasingly more upset. She didn't hide any ounce of her worry. What if this is the last time we celebrated together? A shiver crept down your spine. Terry's fear wasn't unfounded. Who knew what any of our lives would look like a year from now? Terry sniffled, her voice cracking with emotion. You couldn't do anything other than helplessly wait at the other end of the call. We need this to be our final big hurrah, just in case it is. You felt terrible for Terry. You felt terrible about that too? The thought hadn't crossed your mind until she said it. You knew everything would be fine. You weren't sure what to think of. Everything's gonna be fine, Terry. Don't worry. Well, if you really wanted to, you can find the time. You know? Good friends find the time. Make time. Good friends make time. So everything's gonna be fine. The future may have seemed scary and uncertain, but it couldn't get better rather than worse. Well, Terry sniffled. Her tone quickly regained her usual fire.
I'm on it.
My dad's about to drive me over, so I have the whole car ride to think about our dilemma. Put your brain to work too, and we'll have this solved, no sweat. Wait. Baxter has a car? Baxter! Actually, I already have a solution for that, and his name is Baxter. That's a little too confident. Baxter has a car. Yeah, I've driven it once when we went to that cafe. Yes. Ah, that's right. I can't believe I didn't remember he has a car.
Woo!
You're a genius, Mori. Of course I am. Of course I am. Tensai dayo. 99 IQ. Wait, no. Is that right? 999 IQ. If it was just 99. I don't know how IQ is measured. I've never taken an IQ test before. I don't think. Thank you very much. But do you think he can actually give us a lift? Yeah, he'd be thrilled. Oh my god, this is what the direct comfort level is? Dang. Uh-huh. Even though you couldn't see Terry, you could easily imagine the way she was nodding over this new possibility.
See you later.
That is the way. Alright, I gotta go. See you soon. The fate of Randy's birthday is up to you, me, and now our remaining hope, the Bee-Man. Bye. He hung up the phone and left it face down on the blanket. You flopped across the bed and your thoughts wandered. You kicked your feet, eager with growing excitement. Miranda was going to have a birthday and that she'd never forget in a million years. While you waited, you opened a half-dozen tabs online on your phone and scrolled through various images of party decorations. You kept perusing until a text notification popped up. I'm here. The doorbell rang as your feet hit the floor. You hurried downstairs and opened the front door.
Hi.
Mori, my food is here. I'm alert. Enjoy your food, Neil! What kind of food did you get? Hey buddy, the party committee meeting is officially in session. Sliding aside, you gestured for Terry to come on in. She strolled inside and went towards the living room. Then Terry pivoted on her heel and folded her arms, all business. So, I haven't messaged Baxter about all this. We should ask him in person instead of a wall of text. It'd be super rude to hit up someone you barely know to do you a big favor, you know? It's gotta be face to face that we beg for help. Okay. Alright, let's call it begging for help. Fingers crossed he's home. We owe it to ourselves and Randy's birthday to try. Yeah, and if he's not there, we can still try something else. This is a start.
Okay.
There's no better time than the present. Let's go. Terry nodded towards the door she just came through, and you both promptly left the house. Together, you made a beeline for Baxter's condo and rang the doorbell. Terry gave the front door a knock for good measure. She wasn't taking a single risk that you might miss him by accident. As she declared, Terry crossed her fingers on both hands. The door opened a crack. Baxter curiously peeked out and then swung it open the rest of the way. He smirked. Well, isn't this a familiar sight? Last time the pair of you came, it was from I'm trying to find Baxter how I did Baxter's voice again, and it's fudging my words. Last time the pair of you came, it was for my number. I wonder what today's mission could be.
Yeah!
You're here! Terry loosened her bent fingers and threw her hands victoriously into the air. Amused, Baxter rubbed the back of his neck. I didn't realize I was missing, but yes, I'm here. I was simply getting ready to go out for the day. You turned your head away and tried to hide your smile. Of course, it was only now that he was making a move to go anywhere. It had to be at least noon before he'd do anything out of the house. Though, even if I wasn't home, you're welcome to call me. It's not my intent to be difficult to reach. Thanks, but we wouldn't want to interrupt you if you were busy. Perish the thought. It wouldn't be an interruption, it would be an improvement. You know I'd be thrilled to see you anytime. Baxter's words were meant for Terry too, but his gaze was set only on you. Ooh. Oh. Terry's grin widened as her eyes crinkled. You knew her well enough to tell she was psyching herself up, Her hands settled on her hips. Can you give us a ride someplace?
It's doable.
Yes, easily. He answered without missing a beat. Terry whooped and Baxter brightened, pleased by her enthusiasm. May I ask where we're going? Baxter, my good friend, we're going to the craft and party supply store. The party store? What's the occasion? The way he perked up with genuine wonder, you could have sworn that his dark eyes were sparkling. Terry pressed a finger to her lips and winked. Shh! You can't tell anyone, but we're gonna give Miranda the best birthday of her young life. Oh, that sweetheart is having her birthday soon. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, on behalf of Randy, I thank you. And on behalf of me, I thank you again for providing the transportation. We would have been stranded without you. Skibbity. Hello, Daisy. Skibbity. How are you, Daisy? Hello, hello. Baxter graciously bowed his head. He picked up on the urgency and importance of what your team was asking. Now that I know what it's for, there's no way I could ever refuse. I'm honored to help.
So?
How are the preparations going? A tiny, nervous laugh bubbled in Terry's throat. She glanced at you, scratching the side of her cheek. Well, we got a room booked at a place big enough to hold a party. And it's a grand private event like she's never had before.
Glad to hear it.
That's great to hear. Yeah, and we just need all the food and party stuff to go in it. I take it that you don't have caterers or decorators arranged then? We are the caterers and decorators. Me and Mori mostly, since Cove couldn't come along today. Ha, I see. Baxter idly tapped his finger across his chin. His brow pinched pensively.
Certainly.
Certainly, this can be done. So there's no reason to worry, but when is the event? Tomorrow. Terry's simple, upbeat answer tore a gasp from Baxter. Bewildered, he slid a step backwards and grasped the fabric across his chest. This was easily the most dramatic reaction you'd ever witnessed from him. There was nothing you could do to stop the snort and laugh that followed. Covering your mouth, you tried twisting away from your friends, but the battle was lost. His reaction was too funny. He was too aghast to even notice. Tomorrow? It's tomorrow and you only have a venue and 2 people? Nothing else? And it's going to be a grand affair? Baxter's mouth snapped shut following that outburst. Neither you nor Terry uttered a single word in response. The two of you shared a quick glance. Baxter took a deep, steadying breath through his nose. He smoothed out the wrinkles in his shirt and exhaled. Once he was better composed, Baxter regained his usual confident air. He attempted to lightly chuckle, but you still caught the strain in his tone. You may have more problems than the lack of a vehicle, I'm afraid. Terry fidgeted her fingers out of embarrassment, but she stood strong and explained the situation to Baxter. She repeated the thought process she walked you through before. I couldn't get the goods earlier, Randy would have figured out what I was doing instantly. I couldn't risk it.
Sorry.
And even if I managed the impossible, she's always at my house. Not having anything to sniff out was the best way to keep everything a secret. Are y'all together yet? What did I miss? What? Me and Baxter? I mean, yeah. This entire time. this entire time we are. Hello, Dead Pillow. Welcome, welcome. We're already together. Yeah. We've done a beach hangout, a coffee date, a jazz bar date, a hiking date, and now we're going to plan a party for our friend. Oh my god, I miss. There's a lot. You can catch up on it. We got the VODs on the channel. You don't need to worry about anything. Most of these are contained stories too, so there's barely any spoilers for the past other dates. So feel free to do that after you watch this stream. We could have hidden the decorations at my house, you know. Yeah, maybe, but now it's too late for what ifs now. Alright, void time. No, stay with me! Yo! As long as we stay focused, it can happen. We've just gotta buy the decorations today and make the snacks, and then the desserts. Then we set it all up tomorrow before things kick off at noon. No problem. Right. How hard could it be, Baxter? It's so hard. It's really hard. Party planning? This is why I don't host parties. There's no other choice but to do that now. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it all. He shrugged it. I tried to tell Terry this was a bad idea. We shouldn't have waited this long. I told you so moment. There's no other choice but to do that now. That's true, and there's no use wasting time on what's outside of your control. You must work within the circumstances you have.
In that case...
Well, since I've attended a number of functions, I'd be delighted to offer advice and assistance. Today and tomorrow, I can definitely do more than simply carting you to the store. No way! You're hired! Terry cheered this upswing of good luck. Baxter's eyebrow arched quizzically, and then you could see his growing amusement stirring. Hired? Are you offering to pay me? Nah, but you can join our secret party planning team. That's priceless.
Very well.
I'll take it. Sweet. His tone sounded even happier than his teasing ploy for money. There really was no payment that would have made it more worth the while. Baxter laughed and gestured towards the street. Let's discuss the details on the way. I imagine the store you have in mind isn't in town. Terry hopped towards the street and partially twisted her heel. She tilted her head and smirked. Nothing's in this little beach town. With her hands in her pockets, Baxter stepped ahead, passing you to join Terry on the road. He had a few words as he crossed your path. Oh, I would have to disagree with that. Oh. Are we the thing in this little beach town? Are we the something in the beach town? Your skin grew warmer from just that slight brush with Baxter. My car is parked a short walk that way.
Oh yeah!
Alright team, here we go! Baxter slipped inside the condo to grab his keys. You and Terry loitered in the empty street while you waited. We totally hit the jackpot. Did you see his face when he realized this was about a party? He probably has loads of ideas. I know, he was on board the second he heard what we were doing. Things are looking up. Baxter didn't take long to return and lock up. You followed him to his car with a pep in your step, and Terry slapped her palm to the front passenger side door. Dibs on shotgun! Dang. Do we sit shotgun or do we backseat? I'd like to be the backseat driver, please. More legroom for me. Terry laughed and swung the door open. Baxter put his elbow on the roof of the car and leaned his cheek against the palm of his hands. Shaking your head, you got into the car. Terry glanced at Baxter across the small space between them and winked. It'll be like you're chauffeuring Mori because they're a VIP. Hey yo! Hey yo, we're VIP!
Yes.
Hi, yes, and where can we drive you today, Mr. Mori? Baxter buckled his seatbelt, then immediately began searching for nearby craft and party supply stores via GPS. Did you have a particular store in mind? Oh, that one. She pointed at the lower half of the screen, and Baxter wordlessly set her pick as the destination. With that settled, the rest of you got comfortable and buckled in for the ride. Despite being the new guy in the area, Baxter confidently drove as if he'd been traveling these roads his whole life. He followed the directions laid out for him, but he also kept a part of himself focused on the task ahead. At hand. Baxter kept the conversation focused on how he could better help you and Terry with the party. He didn't hesitate to be a key member of this operation. Thanks for doing this, Baxter. Seriously, it's so nice. Thanks, Baxter. Considering you're working pro bono, I appreciate that you're taking party planning seriously. You were grateful for his help. What do we say, chat? What are we gonna say? Considering you're pro bono, I appreciate you're taking party planning seriously. Yeah. You're doing this for free? Damn. Baxter laughed deeply. His grip tightened on the steering wheel. Is it a crime to take pride in my abilities?
No way.
Absolutely not. Keep it up. Do we have an idea of what we're looking for? It's gonna have a theme. The party can't be a generic birthday bash. We're going for something here.
Excellent.
Having a specific design choice makes it all easier. Baxter answered with a pleased tone and peeked at the GPS. He turned the car at an intersection. And the theme is...
Nah.
We don't know. Ah. Somehow his smile remained perfectly in place. You imagine that he fully expected the lack of preparation at this point. Well, there are many concepts one can go with. For example, it's summertime, and a classic style would be nautical. Or perhaps desert chic for California, if you wanted to take our location into account. Or what about this? While summer is scorching on the outside, the guests are treated to a winter wonderland inside. That kind of unexpected, intentionally out-of-season aesthetic can be quite fun. Exhaling deeply, Terry leaned the side of her head against the glass and stared out the window, mulling over Baxter's suggestions. She sank her front teeth into her bottom lip. If none of those suffice, we can continue brainstorming. I don't know if any of those are right for Miranda. She doesn't care about what's trendy, or seasonal, or what might impress her guests.
Understandable.
That's a good point. This isn't some party, it's Miranda's party. Unfortunately, I only met the woman this whole affair is for once. There's not much I can glean from that. I apologize. That put him in quite a disadvantage despite his sincere intent to help. Frowning, you felt somewhat similar. Nobody knew Miranda better than Terry, and that meant she could have the final say on these big decisions. Would you rather I stop proposing ideas? I'm sure whatever you think she'll enjoy most will be wonderful. The way sentences are written in this game is really long, and it's hard to stop and actually read them out loud. No, I need so much help. I don't even know what party themes are. How am I gonna pick one? Okay, then I shall keep throwing out ideas until something sounds good to your ears.
Yeah.
Then should I? Yeah, please. There's gotta be a theme that's perfect for her. I'll know it when I hear it. Very well. You could practically hear the gears moving in Baxter's brain. His expression scrunched up, and it was clear that he was silently compiling a list. Oh, wait. What can you tell me about the venue? The colors, the size, the style? We can use that as a base to work off of. It would be pointless to fall in love with a concept and then realize it would clash with the room.
Sure.
Smart. I found the perfect place. It's pretty big. Imagine a space that's larger than the average living room. Like 3 living rooms. She's got lots of family and plenty of friends coming, so we need it. There's also a lit-up dance floor at the center too.
Oh?
A dance floor? His eyes sparked with excitement. You imagined the dance floor would be just as bright tomorrow. Will the event have any slow dancing? Who slow dances at a birthday party? It's not a prom. Baxter's shoulders slumped in response, while Terry's surprised laugh morphed into a small coughing fit. He sighed deeply. That's true. If only someone was getting married instead. There's always formal dancing at weddings. It's a shame the only appropriate time to dance. It's a shame that the only appropriate time to dance with a partner, besides at practice and competitions, and the odd jaunt through some sprinklers, happens to be a very uncommon event. But of course, this is outside of having your own actual partner who you can go dancing with whenever you like. Your head tilted. Was that a hint? The two of you were dating. Did he want to go dancing with you? Or maybe there wasn't any intent behind his general statement. Next time there's a wedding, you're the first person I'm calling. Baxter laughed earnestly. His attention flickered up the mirror for a moment. You're so considerate, Mori. Please, I'm counting on you to do that when this situation arises. You smiled softly. His love of dance wasn't a secret, but it was sweet to be reminded how happy the idea of a formal dance made him. But Baxter shook his head, ridding himself of his indulgent thoughts. His attention flickered to the map. Regardless, it wouldn't matter either way in this case. I apologize for getting us off track. How else would you describe the venue?
Very nifty.
It's shiny and pretty and pink. That does give a strong picture of what the presentation could be. It's limiting, but in a helpful way. How so?
I see.
The most obvious direction would be to make the entire theme simply pink. Carrie snorted and tried to suppress her giggles, but she was instantly unsuccessful. Randy does like that color, but she doesn't feel the same way about it as you do with black and white. Oh, what a roast. Okay. Alright. Now it was Baxter's turn to chuckle. That's fair. So, moving on, we have pretty and sparkly. What else? Is Miranda a fan of glitz and glamour?
Nope.
No. Well, basically no. Harry's brow furrowed, and she slowly deflated in her seat. Randy wouldn't like trying to be glamorous. That's not how she is. And she wouldn't know how to act if that's what the theme was. Is that so? Then, what about a faux high life theme? What would that be? He sat forward, wondering what either of those two words were supposed to mean in terms of decorating a party. Let me think of the best way to articulate the premise. I'm listening. Imagine plastic champagne glasses filled with sparkling cider, and dainty desserts coated with shimmering dust so they shine. Ooh? A chocolate fountain with fresh strawberries to dip, and colored lights, perhaps even feather boas for the guests to wear. The idea is that nothing is truly extravagant. It's tongue-in-cheek, but with all the celebratory fun of acting like a star on your special day. Ooh. Not being that kind of person would be part of the point. Cute and silly, basically. Terry sprung up in her seat, vibrating with excitement. She turned to you, but she was still rendered speechless from Baxter's proposition.
What do you think?
Did I strike a chord? It would be so fun! Randy loves to let loose and not be so serious, but she's definitely a star. It sounds as though we have a theme then.
Finally!
Yeah, and it's all gonna come together now. Nice!
That's wonderful.
And we accomplished it without having to leave the car. Nice! Nice! Wow, you really know your stuff. Thanks for helping us figure this out. Randy's gonna be blown away. I never would have thought of that one. Randy's gonna be so happy. She's lucky to have friends who truly care about her happiness. No matter what, tomorrow will be a special day. We already owe a lot of that to you. Yeah. I can't wait to see your reaction. The rest of the drive kept the secret party planning ball rolling, and the three of you took turns proposing suggestions for what you needed to track down at the store. When you arrived, the three of you entered the store fully focused on the mission, though you felt underprepared standing at the entrance and scanning the cluttered store in front of you. Yarn! Woo! Any crochet girlies out there watching? I have never tried to crochet before. I don't think that's a hobby I'll ever pick up. It's a, I don't have the patience for that. Are craft stores like exclusively an American thing? Because I don't think I've ever seen like a specifically specialized craft store here in my country. We have like basic school supply stores like National Bookstore and stuff, but I thought you already do that, Grandma. I don't! I'm not the crocheting type. I have a sewing machine. I don't crochet, I sew. I sew my stuff. I don't crochet anything. I don't have the patience for crochet. well, just because you call me grandma, it doesn't mean I do everything that a grandma does, okay? Okay? Oh, and what luck. My new shipment of sewing machine needles just came in, so I can finally use the machine again. Good lord, it took like a whole month to get here. I don't know why. It was like needles. Did it get held up in like customs because it was declared as needles and they needed to verify that? I don't know. But yeah. I do other grandma hobbies. I don't do crochet. I do sewing. Well, embroidery is also something I do. Question mark. I've done embroidery for like making my Mori plush. See, you do grandparent things. Can't a dog have hobbies? Hello? Can't the dog just have hobbies? Man, alright. Let's stop talking about that. The shelves were piled with miscellaneous goods, and there was a strong smell wafting in the air. It was like a mix of paint and scented something. Maybe pinecone? I guess so. Oh, yeah, for a dog my age, am I like expected to have hobbies like video games or something? What if I do like to do the grandma hobbies? But I'm not a grandparent. What does a granddad, what are like granddad hobbies? Fishing? Grandpappy. Is like fishing the grandpappy hobby or something? I've never fished before. I went to locations where you could fish, but I've never done it before because I don't want to touch a live fish. Yeah, fishing, golfing, ooh. I've only ever played golf on the Wii. Playing golf on the Wii. Do they do scrapbooking? I mean, I do that. Oh, you're also you do grandparent hobbies? Let's go. Let's go. Well, we're in a crap store. Get all the supplies you need to make your scrapbook. Right here. That's one. And yeah, that's one. But that qualifies you for the grandparent title, Neil. Okay, back to the game. We need to get through the craft store. Curling your fingers into fists, you steeled yourself for the task. It was going to be way too easy to get lost with the endless sea of bits and bobs calling out to you. The party planning team couldn't fail now.
Woo!
Come on, there's no time to waste! Harry took the lead, claiming a shopping cart and picking a direction. She pushed on ahead while you followed at Baxter's pace. It wasn't long before Terry was combing through the piles of knickknacks. Her fiery determination to make this birthday the best it could be was admirable. You were proud to be part of that grand plan. Her group traveled down several aisles, picking up a variety of supplies that had been decided during the drive. The right-shaped cups, plastic forks and spoons that resembled proper silverware, and the rest of the basics. You picked out some shiny tablecloths to replace the old checkered ones, and Terry found a few platters to serve the desserts on. Next on the agenda was to locate what you'd need to prepare the desserts. But before any of you could do that, Terry stopped in her tracks and pointed. Oh, look! Craning your head, you scanned the area until you landed on what she was seeing. There in the distance were dozens of feathered boas hanging over a row of long hooks. Ayo, they were fluffy and came in several bright saturated colors. Grinning wide, Terry raced to the display and flung a ton of them into the cart. It was anyone's guess how many would be needed for tomorrow, and since they were only a couple dollars each, Terry was sticking with the old tried and true method of better safe than sorry. Eventually, her looting uncovered a single pure white boa. Oh, pure white boa? You instantly knew you needed that boa. It was perfect for Baxter. You grabbed it, mindful not to crush the delicate feathers. They were soft against your skin while you examined them for any hidden splotches of color. Luckily, the feathers were immaculate. So you added the boa to the growing pile in the cart. It soon became lost in the sea of rainbow. Hey yo! Once Terry was satisfied, she stared at the cart. Everything that you'd selected before was buried under a pile of boas. And there was a lot more shopping to do. Maybe we should get a second cart.
I can do that.
I couldn't agree more. You can go to the cake decorating aisle and I'll meet you there.
Thanks.
Thanks, B-Man. Baxter hurried to the end of the aisle and paused there, glancing back. Terry sent him off with a playful salute and he answered with a wave. Don't get lost, we'll miss you. I'll try my best. After that, you and Terry ended up getting a bit turned around, but at long last you found the aisle with the cake decorating supplies. Terry drove the cart back and forth, anxiously scanning the selection. So, like, what desserts are we gonna have? There should be a cake, but that can't be all, right? What about cupcakes? Randy loves cupcakes. She does. We gotta make a whole bunch now. Yeah. Terry mumbled contemplatively to herself, leaning against the carriage. She nodded once and then again. I'll try it. No, I must do it. Hold on, when are you gonna have time to make 2 desserts? Tonight after all the shopping, or tomorrow when the entire room needs to be decorated? I can squeeze it in somewhere. I don't think so. They'll never get done. You make the cake, I'll take care of the cupcakes.
Really?
Really? Thanks, buddy. Terry dabbed an invisible tear from her eye and then placed a hand across her heart. No one could ask for a more loyal cohort. I can't let you get all the glory. Of course, you don't need to do it all yourself. I can't let you get all the glory. Terry crossed her arms and pretended to be annoyed. Her gaze narrowed suspiciously.
Ooh.
Ah, so that's it. You're trying to steal my crown as #1 Miranda enthusiast. Oh, maybe. Alright, so I've been thinking about making a confetti cake with vanilla frosting. Could you make chocolate cupcakes with cheesecake frosting? And make them all look pretty too. I got it. Ooh, I can do cake baking, but not the decorating part. I've never tried to decorate like cakes before. The last time I did, I think I did try that. Yeah, I did try. I tried to make whipped cream and then use that to decorate like a strawberry shortcake. Needless to say, it looked like a murder happened on that strawberry shortcake. I don't know if I still have a photo of it. Ooh, good lord. I'm not gonna go looking for it. It's been like too long since I made that cake, but like I used pie filling strawberries, like the canned ones. You could use the for pie filling stuff. That's what I used. So like the strawberries were pretty mushy and there was like some extra jam syrup to it then. And then when I tried to decorate the cake, all of the strawberry jam looked like blood. So it's like a murder happened on this cake. Who could be the culprit? Who could be the killer? And it's me. I was it. I was the killer. Good lord, do not expect me to decorate a cake ever again. I hate whipping cream. It takes so long. And in my like climate, I don't think it's even possible to get like stiff peak whipped cream. I need to bake more. Yeah, bake more. You can make more. You can make your own cheesecakes, Nil. Use that oven more. You added a thumbs up and Terry excitedly pumped her fist.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be a great party. No, I tried. You tried to make cheesecake before? Hey yo, how'd it go? How'd it go? I almost burned the cake. No, no. This is why you keep watch. Even if it's like set on a timer, you need to keep it watch. Whenever I make a cake, I always like sit right next to the oven because I can't trust my oven to like cook the cake, bake the cake perfectly. So I need to like watch it like a hawk. If it like ends up like slightly burnt, that can pass, I guess. The heat to your face is nice. Not during the summer though. I would hate to be sitting next to the oven during the summer, especially in like 38-degree heat. Ooh, 38 degrees Celsius heat, man. I cannot. But yeah, cake's nice. I make a mean banana cake. 38 degrees, yeah, it reaches that point. I have like a temperature reader or something in my room and it sometimes says like 38 degrees Celsius. And like, how am I even surviving this? How is this possible? This is like fever temperature. Above 36 degrees. That's fever temperature right there. But yeah, basically my room becomes an oven in the summer. Yippee! Yippee! Back to the game. With renewed enthusiasm, Terry picked a couple containers of gold and silver shimmer dust for the treats, and packed an edible and a packet of edible jewels and decorative stars. Terry reached up and snagged a big 19-shaped candle to go on top of the cake. Her arms were rapidly getting full, and then, just in time,
Hello.
there you are. I've been searching for you two. He wheeled the new cart over, but it wasn't empty. Sitting comfortably inside was a boxed chocolate fountain, a pack of wooden skewers, and a big bag of melting chocolate wafers to be used with it. Ooh. Terry leaned into the cart and examined the advertised features printed on the box. Some of the packets she was holding onto fell from her grasp and tumbled in with a clang. This is a good brand, not too loud. The music should cover the noise it does make though.
Sure.
Works for me. Terry released the remaining things she was carrying into the carriage. They rained onto the unsuspecting fountain. You placed what you had inside next. Sometimes it's 28, but it's so humid it says it feels like 30. Yeah, it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. Ah yes, especially like maybe a couple hours after it rains and then the sun is like super hot. The humidity is like you can die from that. I swear. Baxter studied everything you'd picked out while he was gone.
You're good.
You have excellent taste. Those decorations are fantastic. Thanks, my cupcakes are gonna be almost too nice to eat. A feast for the eyes then. Yeah, we got this in the bag. As you passed through more parts of the store, the three of you grabbed a few other last-minute odds and ends. Somewhere along the way, Terry found a sash that said Birthday Girl. She eagerly snatched it up and threw it across the pile of feather boas. You pointed out some oversized sunglasses next. Oh, good catch.
Very nifty.
Those totally fit the vibe. I can't focus with that heat. Yeah, you'd rather be fanning yourself than doing anything else. Like sit in front of an electric fan or something and then just stay there trying not to melt. Nodding, you tossed a handful into the cart. From there, your team circled the premises for a little while before deciding to check out and get your haul home. The register area you discovered wasn't built anything like the one at the supermarket. There wasn't a long conveyor belt to put stuff on, only a short counter space.
I apologize.
Sorry, this will be one moment. You flashed the cashier an apologetic smile and you got to work piling up the dozens of party supplies from 2 full carts. Not one piece was particularly pricey, but with the amount of stuff you gathered, the total was skyrocketing. Even with the contributions from friends and family as a combination gift, it was going to be a close call. Terry's lips twitched as she tried not to frown. The displayed price grew higher and higher, and there was still a mountain of things on the counter. Baxter stared at Terry and his brow furrowed. He then reached over and plucked away the chocolate fountain box, the skewers, and the packet of chocolate. No, I want that. Don't worry about it. I'm going to buy this myself. But that's not a necessary supply that you were anticipating you'd buy, and it was my bright idea on top of everything. I'll cover it. My treat. Or rather, my gift for Miranda's birthday. I can't say no to that. Thank you so much. He gave her a pleased nod and then went to the end of the line, carrying the box under his arm. Baxter managed to get through the line, stop at a different register, and complete his purchase way before you and Terry were through. He waited awkwardly off to the side of the checkout counter with his bag. After the poor cashier dug themselves out of a pile of sparkly and feathered goods, you caught up to him with 2 carts neatly packed with bags. As you were leaving, the voiceover announced that the store would be open only for another 30 minutes. Terry glanced at the overhead speaker in shock.
Oh.
Whoa! I knew we were here a while, but not that long. Ah yes. the universal experience of losing time at a big store shopping. essentially, like, since there's no windows, you don't have like an exact track of time. You don't see the sun going down in these stores. Like in grocery stores, we'd end up like spending hours just going around and getting all of the groceries. And then when we come out, it's already nighttime. The sun is already down. And now we have to go home in the dark. Having to be with your mother makes it infinitely time longer. Oh, yeah. Especially if you go back to previous aisles that you already went through. Because you forgot to get something or you thought of getting another. Hello? Oh, is my YouTube stream still running? Oh my god, they're trying to nerf me. The internet, the OBS disconnected for a bit. Hello? Chat, are you there? Okay. I got a notification that like OBS disconnected, reconnecting, and I'm like, no, I gotta make a new waiting room now. No, but then it got back. We're back. We're so back. I had a panic attack there. I had a panic right there. This isn't healthy for me. After this, I'm playing More Oxygen Not Included. I swear. I swear, I'm not addicted. I'm not addicted. I swear to you. Hello. Okay. Back to the game because apparently the internet just hiccuped. You're addicted. We were saved by some omnipotent being. Oh my god. Alright. Together, you had to fill the trunk and a part of the back seat. We'll take the carts back. Yeah, we got it. I'll stay put here then. Baxter leaned against the car door as you rolled away. The sky was dark and the night air felt invigorating after being in the stuffy, overly scented store. There was an added pep in your step now that you weren't weighed down by party supplies. Terry shot you a mischievous grin, and then raced past you across the pavement. You chased after her. You pushed the cart faster before jumping on the back and riding it. Whoa! Have you ever ridden a pushcart before? I have. I'm scared to death. Usually, I do that in the store because I don't want to go ramming into anybody's car in the parking lot. So, let's just chase after her. Beat her. Oh, Gemma! Oh, Gemma! What the hell? The first thing you say into this chat room, and that's what you... Hello, hi, how are you? We chase after her, we're not gonna beat her. Neither of you needed to exchange a word to know that this was a friendly race. Harry moved faster, hearing the rattle of your cart coming closer. Then you returned the cart together. Baxter stood up and smoothed his shirt. You returned to the car together. Baxter stood up and smoothed his shirt before opening his door. Welcome back. You squeezed into the car and let your eyes feast on the fruits of the afternoon's labor. Terry hopped into the front again. Hi, pancakes! Hello! Welcome, welcome! Jumper! Gemma! It's like you're asking me to rob someone or something. Hello? Hello? Hi, we're here. We just finished buying party supplies for our friend's birthday party. Surprise birthday party. Hello, Duck Queen Cheese! Welcome, welcome! Yo. Oh. Bro, I'm not reading chat anymore. What the hell, you guys? Terry fished her phone out and messaged her parents that she was ready for them to pick her up. She explained that if they left now, then her mom or dad would be at your house by the time the three of you returned. After that, you simply needed to enjoy a comfortably quiet ride to the neighborhood. After all that shopping ended up being way more exhausting than any of you anticipated. After a brief and uneventful drive through sleepy streets, you arrived home and find a van parked outside. As you approach, you recognize the shade of green paint and that characteristic dent in the rear fender. Terry leaned out the window and hollered cheerily. "Alright, you made it!" A wave from the driver's side window. It was Terry's parents. Came to pick her up as planned. "This is great. We can take most of the stuff home in the van." Terry jerked a thumb towards the piles of party paraphernalia perched precariously. Oh, say that 3 times fast. Party paraphernalia perched precariously in the back of the car. "I figured it can stay there until tomorrow. My old folks said we could borrow the van to take everything to the party venue anyway. It's like we planned it or something." Baxter silently nodded, pulling alongside Terry's parents.
Is that fun?
"Well, since we're transferring the supplies from one vehicle to another, we might as well minimize the distance. Terry, would you mind?" He gestured towards the rear of the van. Terry nodded and hopped out to let her mom know it was safe to pop the trunk. While you left your seat, Baxter opened up his own car and then gave Terry's mom and dad a friendly wave. Thus began the daunting task of unloading. Terry's parents noticed how much stuff you'd ended up bringing back, and soon they were also lending a hand. With all 5 of you, the seemingly endless stack of party goods was defeated in short minutes. Duck Queen, I'm going to say this one. Stop that. It's spam. It's spamming. Well, that's against the rules in chat. I might have to time you out if you keep doing that. Yes? Are we good? Are we good, chat? Alright. With all 5 of you, the seemingly endless task of party goods was defeated in a few short minutes. I think that's the last of it. Many hands truly do make light work. You let out a sigh of relief, stretching your arms. They'd gotten sore from all the heavy lifting in spite of the help. Bow down before the awesome and terrible power of teamwork. Yo. Terry wasn't even remotely out of breath. She could do the whole thing over again without breaking a sweat. You counted yourself lucky she didn't threaten to do just that. Her sense of humor could be wild sometimes. Bro. Baxter leaned against the closed rear door of the van, casually addressing Terry and her parents. Are you fine people headed home now? It's getting late." A trio of assenting noises followed.
Yeah.
"Yep, we've got everything for tomorrow." "Oh, hold on a sec." Oh my god. I'm monitoring the stream on my phone, so if you guys heard that, you didn't. She marched over to where you stood and planted her feet on the sidewalk with intent. She stood to attention as though suddenly in the middle of a military parade. You could see she had an object clutched in her right hand, though it was difficult to make out in the dusk. She must have taken it out of one of the shopping bags from earlier. Soon as I get home, the next stage of our mission commences. Don't worry about me though, it'll be... Here it comes. A piece of cake! She lifted one of your hands and dropped the item into it. 3 shimmering cylinders of confectionery glitter, and of course, there was still work to be done tonight. Baking. You were raring to go. Baking at night after a huge shopping trip? I don't know, man. You're starting to feel worn down. You slowly took the little plastic tubes of glitter and gave Terry a firm nod. You weren't about to let her down, no matter how tired you were. Good luck, Terry. See you tomorrow.
See you later.
I'll swing by to pick you guys up at 7 tomorrow, okay? Party starts at noon, and we're gonna need all the time we can get. With a skip and a jump, Terry was already clambering into her parents' van. She waved enthusiastically as the sliding door closed. After retreating to a safe distance, you and Baxter watched the van pull out and head off up the street. It was surprising it could move anymore with all the extra weight. The glow of the headlights drew distant and then faded into the night like a late summer dream. All was quiet for a pause, then Baxter spoke. I understand there's one more job left to take care of then. He nodded down at the clear containers you were still clutching in your hand. Yep, still gotta take care of some stuff. I'll get some sleep, eventually.
To be honest,
Well, I cannot say I'm surprised you aren't finished. It's a tall order, arranging an event at a short notice. Not that I'm criticizing your attempt in the slightest. It's honestly admirable to see the commitment. But I'm getting off topic. What's next on the agenda? You explained to Baxter the situation with the party food. You'd volunteered to make chocolate cupcakes with cream cheese frosting while Terry would do the real birthday cake. It was a relatively simple order at least. No last-minute meringues for Miranda. She'd survive the disappointment. No meringues. Have you guys ever tried baked meringue before? I have. They're so good. The edible faux metallic glitter that Terry handed you was to be the final layer of decoration, a touch of pizzazz that would transform the basic cupcakes into something more to theme. Baxter touched a hand to his mouth and nodded in agreement as you explained. Of course, a pleasing appearance is hardly the most critical factor. A poorly baked dessert would still taste bad, no matter how it looked. But flair can help elevate a thing beyond itself. I suppose you could say it's icing on the cake? Baxter coughed quietly into his fist as though to muffle a laugh. Terry had been rubbing off on him clearly. Regardless, that sounds to be a marvelous idea. Though slightly less marvelous given how tight the schedule is. It's getting late. There's no denying that. His thoughtful expression was obscured by darkness around both of you. Here is what I suggest. Why don't you come over to my house to do it? I can give you a hand with the preparation, if you think I'll be any use. For how often and how readily Baxter always offered his services, you shouldn't have been taken aback by this latest gesture, and yet you still found yourself wondering, why? Baxter had clearly anticipated your reaction, cutting off the question before you could ask it. He made a gesture as if he was looking at his wristwatch, though of course he didn't wear one. It's nearly 10 p.m. Your family won't exactly thank you for baking this late at night. The noise is one thing, the smell will be another matter. And besides, your fridge might not have enough free space. Leaving the cakes out all night might spoil them. The fridge in my condo is... well, there's plenty of room. Baxter's diction had gained a faint quivering edge. like he was skirting around a nervous giggle. It's empty, in fact. I have a conveniently empty fridge in a conveniently empty house.
Perfect.
Perfect, wouldn't you say? When he put it in those terms, it made total sense. Baxter sure did have a lot of foresight when it came to these things. It was impressive he always thought that far ahead. You agreed. It was opportune. It was an opportune set of circumstances. But as he talked about how empty his temporary home was, it struck you that Baxter sounded a little sad. Sounded a little sad? A little sad? It must be quiet, alone at that house. Maybe that was why he was always so willing to come spend time with you. Or the other people he knew around here. Alright, so long as you promise not to sneak a bite of any of the cupcakes before tomorrow. I wouldn't dream of it. Scout's honor. You couldn't think of anyone on Earth less likely to have been a Boy Scout than Baxter. No. But you reasoned that Scout's honor was a universal sort of concept, like the 5-second rule. Then you're in. Baxter clapped his hands together. He'd fully committed himself to the cause and was ready to put a plan in motion. Excellent. Let's get cooking, shall we?
Very well.
You'll have to retrieve ingredients from your house, since I don't have anything myself. The kitchen is fully outfitted, however, so you needn't bring any equipment. If you want to take care of things, Toy. Is that how you say it? Hello, Jet. Zeto. Hold on, chat. Oh. Okay. How do you pronounce Chetoy? Chetois. Is that it? Chetoy, Chetois. Let me actually. Maybe I could look it up. Chetois. What are these fancy words you're saying? Bro. Your home? No, don't listen to the AI explanation. Meaning of Chetois. Wrench together. At your house. Okay. Okay. Why do you have to speak foreign words? Weird man. I can begin prepping the utensils and such. I'll leave the front door unlocked, so feel free to let yourself in when you're ready. You're still doing Baxter's DLC. This is like my 7th, 8th playthrough, but I haven't played it recorded on YouTube yet, so like, yeah, another reason to play it. Yippee! Yippee! Another reason to play it. Yippee! Yes, my favorite boy that we can fix. Yes, we eventually fix at the end of it. After the 5 moments of the Baxter DLC, we'll be heading into the epilogues, right? I plan to do like Derek's epilogue first before we do Baxter's epilogue, just so we can like tie a ribbon on the Derek DLC more neatly. And then after the DLCs, I'm going to replay the whole thing again Well, not on stream, but like offline, I'll be replaying the whole thing again up until Cove's epilogue at the end of the game, and then we're doing the wedding DLC. And then we get to see like the extra content in the wedding DLC because we got the Derek and Baxter DLCs, which is fun. I look forward to it. But right now, I gotta finish this last moment, and then we go to the Step 3 epilogue. And then we can finally get to the end of the game content. Yippee! Yippee! It's almost the end of the year, but I'm still playing this game. Feel free to let yourself in when you're ready. Sure thing. And sure, you briefly split up. Baxter walked briskly to his rented condo, while you made your way steadily home. You stifled a yawn as you fumbled for your house keys, before shaking yourself all over, trying to focus. You could sleep later. Alright, I need toilet break. Chan chaka don don. Toilet break chat. With this, we'll take like a 5-minute break. I need to refill my water bottle as well. Make sure to get some snacks. Get your water or any drinks that you like. And also, I'm going to run another ad on Twitch. Just so the pre-rolls are off. But yeah, we'll be on break. See you guys in a bit. 5 minutes at the most. Bye! Uh. Hello? I returned. So apparently, my Twitch stream actually restarted. So it got cut off. I've been streaming. This session was like 30 minutes in. But fortunately, my YouTube stream is still running. Yippee! Alright. We can get back to it. There's still like a whole birthday segment left. I need to get through this before 5 p.m. I have 1 more hour left. Okay. Alright. When you came in, you spied your mom sitting around the living room. They were huddled up in one of the couches, luxuriating in one another's company after a day's work. Your ma's head rested on her wife's shoulder, while mom brushed fingers lightly through her hair. They could have been a famous sculpture or painting sitting there. It was hard to witness your parents like that sometimes, not because it was embarrassing, although some people might have seen it that way. Your moms were a thing of tremendous gravity in your life. You were a fledgling they had fed and clothed and cleaned up after and loved for years and years. And soon you would be taking flight. You'd be gone. Maybe that's why you found yourself glancing down at the hardwood floor at the sight of your mom's. It was a lot to take in at 10 p.m., to be honest. But the sound of the front door alerted them both to your presence. The two halves of that piece of art moved in alignment and turned. Welcome back, sweetie. Nice of you to drop by, Mori. Will you be staying with us long? A classic mom joke. You babbled out the whole Terry's organizing a last-minute party for Randy. Don't tell anyone. Been out all day. By the way, I need to make some cupcakes tonight situation. Not to mention that I'm going over to Baxter's house. Do we have any ingredients I can use situation? There was a whole lot of situation to cover.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful, Mori. I'm sure Miranda will be delighted. You're all working so hard. It's getting late though. You've been going for most of the day. Ma was eyeing the wall clock and gave you a playful pout. Are you sure you don't want to call it a night and let your mom and me handle the baking? Ma's right. Don't think I didn't hear the yawn as you came in. Why not let us take care of the rest? You had to admit it was a fair suggestion. It had been a long day after all, and a full night's sleep would help prepare you for the festivities tomorrow. But you wouldn't give in. You shook your head, declining the offer. Miranda was your friend, and you'd given Terry your word that you'd take care of it. Besides, it wasn't as if your moms hadn't worked today. Ma's tiny frown deepened, so disappointed not to be allowed to baby. But it was all in good humor.
Fine.
Alright, we won't push it. As long as you're sure Baxter's okay with you wreaking havoc in his immaculate kitchen. Ma let out an unbridled snort. He's a teenager living on his own, Pam. How immaculate could that kitchen be? You opened your mouth to defend Baxter and all other teenagers before realizing that it hardly counted if the only reason he had a clean kitchen was that he never used it in the first place. Can't have a dirty kitchen if you're not using it. Big brain. If his tone earlier was anything to go by, he'd probably even thank you for making a mess. It might brighten up the place. You didn't say anything of any of this to your moms, though. You made it clear to them that Baxter had assured you it was a-okay. It was his idea to begin with, after all. He'd been insistent on helping, like certain other people you could mention. This mollified your parents, though they teased. They were acting entirely out of consideration for your temporary neighbor. Too bad Baxter Ward had outconsidered them already.
understand.
You'll handle it like the grown-ups you are. At least let us help you gather the ingredients together before you go. Pam, do you think you could get the...
Sure thing.
Already on it. Mom had headed towards the kitchen and began pulling things out of the cupboards. Your mom and I actually have some leftover boxes of chocolate mix from, I forget what it was for now. But you're welcome to take it all, honey. That should save you some time. The frosting will have to be made fresh. But I always find that's the easiest part. I don't like making frosting, chat. Ma! I don't like making frosting. I hate making frosting. I'd rather have cakes bare. This is why I don't like icing, actually, too. But, well, icing is basically like sugar, powdered sugar with water. That's basically what icing is. I prefer whipped cream. I've never had... I don't think I've had buttercream stuff yet. Or maybe I have and I just wasn't aware of it. But yeah, I don't like cake decorating. They say it's the easiest part, but no, it's actually the hardest because you have to stay there, keep getting the frosting whipped until it's actually the right consistency, and that takes a lot of time. I don't have that kind of patience, man. Oh, and we also have... Mom's arm shot up from behind the fridge door, clutching a large tub of cream cheese. She placed it next to a row of bright red boxes of cake mix and half a dozen eggs on the counter. You should take some extra muffin tins too, just in case. If Baxter's oven is big enough, you can make multiple batches at once instead of doing it in stages. You might not need it, but being prepared never hurt anybody. Here, Mom paused, a thoughtful look on her face. Unless you're making a plan to, say, assassinate someone, then your preparations would be designed to... Pamela, the muffin tins? Oh, right, muffin tins. We have 2 you can take along. Cupcake liners, too. While they were meant to only help, your moms did all the work of getting the supplies. And soon, you found yourself ready to head on over to Baxter's condo. They kissed you on one cheek, on one on either cheek, and shooed you enthusiastically out the door. You hurried across the street, lugging your cargo in 2 large grocery store branded totes. Once up the front steps of Baxter's house, you gingerly arranged things so you were able to grab the doorknob. As promised, Baxter had left it unlocked, a panel of light spread over your feet. Steeling yourself in preparation for the last stretch of an interminable day, you gripped the bag handles tighter and stepped inside. Stepping briskly through the entry, you recall that Baxter's condo had a kitchen directly opposite the main living room. You made your way straight there. Oh, it's like an open floor plan then. Baxter was waiting for you beside the fridge and swiveled around when he heard you enter. Ah, there you are. Excellent. Welcome, welcome.
So?
Were you able to find everything we need from your house? Many places might be closed this late, but I'm not opposed to a trip to the grocery store if necessary. How are grocery stores open until midnight? Is that actually just the thing? I know convenience stores are open 24/7, but not grocery stores. You unceremoniously hauled the 2 large bags of stuff onto the kitchen counter, though being careful not to squash the eggs, and wiped your brow in an exaggerated fashion. Whew! We're good. I managed to lug everything over here. You both made a start on unpacking the bags of ingredients, but before you could get very far, there was a sudden exclamation from Baxter. In your hands were 2 boxes of cake mixture.
Hallelujah.
Oh, hallelujah. I was hoping you'd bring something similar. Being that genuinely glad, you couldn't help but let your eyes widen in surprise. Do you mean to tell me that Baxter Ward is somehow not a master baker in disguise? I thought you could do everything. Baxter sheepishly raked a hand through his iconically colored hair. I'm fumbling over my words now. Iconically colored hair. Is this the ginger lemonade I made earlier? It tastes like it. I can never tell. Yeah, I brought like Mori bro brought me some juice to sip on. It's ginger lemonade with some Yakult. The Yakult is overpowering the entire drink though. So it tastes just like a Yakult lemonade. I don't taste the ginger. It's faint, to say the least. Yakult is life. I made ginger lemonade and then I put like 1 bottle of Yakult into 1 liter. I think 1.5 liters of the drink, and then it's just a Yakult drink. It's like what banana is to smoothies, Yakult is to drinks. If you put banana into a fruit smoothie, it's gonna be a banana smoothie. Likewise, if you put Yakult into your drink, it's going to be a Yakult drink. It's not gonna be anything else. Hi, Goob! Welcome, how's your week been? Practically speaking, I actually haven't the faintest idea what kind of baking I am capable of, though the probability suggests it's unlikely to be much. To tell you the truth, I've never baked before in my entire life, whether using a pre-prepared mix or not. I only imagined that this way would be easier, potentially. It's been good, that's good to hear. I've just been playing Oxygen Not Included. This is like the 3rd time I've mentioned it on stream. But I am not addicted, guys. Okay? It's not an addiction. It's just like a Minecraft phase, you know, when you get into Minecraft and then you play for like 2 weeks and then you get bored of it. It's just a Minecraft phase, but for Oxygen Not Included. School ended last week. Oh, nice! You're on vacation with Christmas break, holiday break. Yippee! That's still an addiction. So you call the 2-week Minecraft phase an addiction? Okay. Definitely not an addiction, Cyrus. Zeto. You've been witness to my escapades. Last night, 2 of my duplicates almost died. You could say it's cheating cause I went back to a previous save, but it's not. I'm not gonna. It's not cheating because I say so. Yippee! Speaking of holidays, do you guys exchange gifts during Christmas or whichever equivalent holiday you celebrate this time of year? Save scumming is valid. But why is it called scum? Huh? I got my gift early this year. And mostly because I paid for it. I got a Miku plushie. Yippee! My Miku plushie is currently hanging out behind me. It's one of those dumb looking Fua plushies. Yippee Miku, yeah! It's a fairly big one. Maybe like about the size of a 65% keyboard. how big is a 65% keyboard? That's just about how tall the Miku plushie is. Miku dayo. Miku dayo. Migu. 65% keyboard, yeah. Like a keyboard without the numpad. I don't know if you guys follow freedom units or the metric system, but it's like 27 centimeters. Is that literally the only way to describe it, Mori? A keyboard without the numpad? 65% keyboard. Why? Is there like a different way to describe a 65% keyboard? Or are you talking about Miku? Because that's like the size comparison that I'm giving you guys. Because 27 cm, you can't really imagine it without like a reference for scale. Like, if I said it was like, what else? I don't have any other point of preferences. Like, 10 shopaos tall. This Miku is 10 shopaos tall. Yes. Anyway, what was the question with this game? What am I picking? I only imagine that box mix would be easier, potentially. I mean, yeah. I'm pretty good at it myself, question mark. It's not that hard, no need to worry. Decorating is a cinch too, I've got... No! Decorating isn't exactly my forte. Miku Miku Beam! I wanted to do that trend, that Miku Miku Beam animation trend. I wanted to do that, but also like, animation. Oh, animation. But yeah, I now am a proud owner of a Miku plushie. This is phenomenal. 2014 Mori would be crying, screaming, throwing up in their seat to know this information that, oh, you're going to get a Miku plushie in the future. Oh my god. Me too, I suck at animation. I just hate the repetition. Me who makes comics. Oh. I just hate the repetition. Mori, creator of a webcomic. Baxter's mouth lifted in an impish little smirk.
My pleasure.
In that case, we can lean on each other. Two heads are better than one, and all that. At least that's the theory. I got a new stylus today. My other one died on me. Oh man. Rest in peace, old stylus. We must soldier on either way. Speaking of which, let's get baking, shall we? You finished unpacking the remaining ingredients, lining them all up carefully on the countertop. Baxter took the second bag and did the same. That reminds me, I might have been a bit hyperbolic when talking about how barren my fridge is earlier. It's not as if the thing is completely empty. At the time, I wanted to assure you that it wouldn't be any trouble for you to come and take and make use of it. And there definitely is plenty of room.
Of course.
But I'm not completely incapable of providing a basic level of hospitality. If you're ever hungry or thirsty, let me know. This news came as a relief to you, probably not for the reason that Baxter was expecting. Sure, it was great you wouldn't starve while you were here, but mostly you were glad to hear that Baxter wasn't living on his own, with nothing to eat in the house. That mental image had been so lonely. You thanked Baxter for the offer, although you weren't in the mood for anything at present. At some point in the conversation, Baxter had rummaged around in a cupboard and added a third muffin tray to the two of yours. The kitchen happened to be supplied with one of these already, but thank you for bringing the spares in case of emergency. As often happened in your life, you found yourself offering a prayer of thanks to your moms for reminding you of the blindingly obvious. Oh, right, about that. We'll never get done if we only bake one tray at a time. If we use all the trays, the batch can be done faster. Your oven should be big enough. Baxter's eyebrows lifted a fraction in surprise. That's true. There should be enough space. The pans aren't terribly large. I'll double check. He picked up one of the trays, walked over to the oven, and opened it up. He put it inside, took it back out, and then tried putting it again long ways. Then he nodded, apparently satisfied. Yes, that'll do, especially if we use more than one shelf. 3 dozen cupcakes at once. We could... I'm stumbling on my words because I've been talking like this for 2 hours. I only took like a 5-minute break. We could almost start a bakery. He was more than a little tickled at the idea, so you refrained from pointing out that he'd first have to know a bit more about baking to actually run one.
Alright.
Another matter squared away, where shall we begin? Without saying another word, you tore into the cake mix. We'll start with the batter, which is the mix plus water, oil, and eggs. Normally you'd use milk, but the mix we're using has powdered milk in it to begin with, so water is good. I see. We also need to set the oven to preheat at 350 Fahrenheit. Why do you got freedom units? Why do you use Fahrenheit? That's like so confusing actually. I don't know how to calculate Fahrenheit into Celsius. So I'm just going to say whenever it's a really high number, it's a Fahrenheit. It's a Fahrenheit measurement. Because if you go above 100 degrees in Celsius, you've reached the boiling point. You've reached the boiling point of water, above boiling point of water. Above 0, death. Below 0, death also. That's the fairly straight and simple way of using Celsius. Excellent. That's relatively straightforward. The pair of you promptly made a start. Measuring out the ingredients into a mixing bowl didn't present any real challenge. Baxter insisted on cracking the eggs. Even I know how to do that much. With everything together in one bowl, you started to stir it together using a wooden spoon. While you were mixing the batter, Baxter diligently placed 36 miniature paper cupcake liners into the tins. Once he was finished, he came and peered over your shoulder into the bowl. Is it ready? You gave a firm nod. You had the batter at a good even consistency, moderately thick, while still being runny enough to pour. Why did he go over our shoulder though? Why'd he peek over our shoulder?
What do you think?
How are we meant to get it into the trays? A spoon, perhaps? A serving spoon would do fine, although a rubber spatula would come in handy for getting the last bits of batter out of the bowl. You picked them both out of the utensil drawer. Portioning out the batter into the cupcake tins was where things started to get more involved. You took care of filling 2 tins you'd brought from home, while Baxter made the effort on his own tin by himself. You managed to get the batter sitting evenly in all cases without spilling. Baxter's pan didn't fare so well, however. His batter... Baxter portions are uneven, and some of the mixture had dribbled off the spoon and onto the tray, which had to be wiped down. He mumbled a quiet apology, clearly embarrassed, but you squashed it with an encouraging grin. He'd performed his duty, and you were grateful for the help. Baxter cautiously lifted the trays one at a time into the hot oven, placing 2 onto the top shelf and sliding the last one in underneath. Then he checked the instructions again and set a timer on his phone. There was enough cake batter left to fill another 2 trays at a rough estimate, but the 3 in the oven were all you had, so you covered the bowl in shrink wrap? Shrink wrap? Isn't it cling wrap? Right? Not shrink wrap. Shrink wrap's the one you heat and then it like conforms to the thing it's covering, right? And then cling wrap is the one with the thing that clings to surfaces. Right? Not like insane or anything, right? It costs like $3, the old one. My new one cost me $17. Rest in peace, mama. Well, that means it's a better stylus than Goob. That means it's a better stylus. You're getting a better bang for your buck with that. I hope. By this point, it was nearly 11 o'clock, but Baxter had remained perky and chipper as the night wore on. It didn't come as a surprise by this point, since you knew full well he was a proven night owl. While the cakes were in the oven, you had to take care of the frosting next. You could remember the recipe without any trouble. Ma was right. It was one of the easier parts of making a cake, all told. You recited the necessary ingredients aloud. As you went down the list, Baxter foraged around on a countertop and handed the named items to you, which you added to a fresh mixing bowl. Then he dove under the counter for a moment and popped back up, sporting a handheld electric whisk. Huh? Huh? Oh! Hello, A4! I didn't see you. My thing was covering the Twitch chat. Hello! I can't believe I've been talking here and I didn't see you. Thank you for the head pats. Did it actually get redeemed? Oh no, did it? It's not working? Is it? Did it not work? Is that why I didn't notice? Oh, it's not working! No, I have to... Twitch isn't connected again? Internet, please. Don't do this. Okay, let's see. It's okay, don't worry. I need to get those claimed. Let's do double head pats. Oh! Dang. I'm gonna have to refund you guys. After the stream. Oh my lord. Is it because the model doesn't have it? Is it not in the hat? Sorry about this, chat. Left shift F1. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna have to manually do that. Double head pat. We already pat you in our hearts. Hey yo! Alright. Since my automation isn't working, I just have to do it manually. Let's get back to the game. But yeah, this thought. He popped back up sporting a handheld electric whisk. Does that mean that came with the house? He rented this condo. And then it's just like a fully decked out kitchen with muffin tins, an oven, an electric whisk too. Man. I hope you're getting your money's worth in this condo, Baxter. You inserted the two metal beaters into the mixture and switched to a low setting. And then you turned the whisk on. Once the mixture was settled, you gradually upped the speed. Once again, Baxter was rather awestruck by the ease at which you handled the process. He'd been giving the electric whisk a nervous side-eye ever since it was brought out. Huh. If I'd been given charge of that device, a dusting of sugar would have been the least of our concerns. We might have spent the entire night scraping cream cheese off the walls. You chuckled and continued to smooth out the spread. While you doted on the bowl, Baxter had been peeking around the side of you with interest, leaning in close in order to get a better look. It was a touch closer than might be considered strictly polite, and there was something about the proximity of his body that made it harder than usual to concentrate on the task at hand. Oh, he's being distracting. Hey, yo. You certainly didn't mind per se, but still, you were operating dangerous equipment here. You could easily pick out the smell of his aftershave. You swallowed. Huh? Why would you note that? Huh? MC Mori? You're sniffing with your enhanced dog nose? At some point, he concluded that he was crowding you over much, so he took a few small steps to a safer distance. He sort of lounged against the far counter, trying to make it appear as though he'd always intended to do so. Baxter worked quite hard behind the scenes to give off the impression of that everything he did was totally effortless. Maybe it came from being a dancer. You pondered these things during the tedious mixing process. It was so cute. Of course, you already knew Baxter was pretty adorable. It wasn't too long before you had the frosting looking halfway decent, and turned the whisk off. Baxter took that as his cue to come back over, smiling pleasantly. Thanks for taking care of that, Mori. Come on, it was a cheap effort. You're welcome. That was nothing. I eat frosting for breakfast. No, I don't. No, I don't. Thank goodness that was taken care of. The tedious task of making whipped cream. I personally really hate it. I've said that 3 times now. I'd originally planned to put the frosting in the fridge while we wait for the cakes to finish, though that'd make it too difficult to spread later on. What do you think? You'd been about to say the same thing, so you merely nodded in approval. It was nice to see that he was beginning to figure things out. At this point, you were inclined to relax a bit. Even with the frosting taken care of and the comforting smell of baking in the air, Baxter was in the mood to keep himself busy. In fact, your success with the cakes, however relative that success might be, had put him in an industrious frame of mind. You watched as he cheerfully donned a pair of rubber gloves, black of course, and began to fill the sink with water in order to wash the bowls and other baking equipment. While the faucet was running, he also took out some cloths and surface cleaner, with the intent of wiping down the countertops wherever there were traces of cake mix powder and batter. You elected to help out with the cleaning. You left him to it. You were really worn out. You left him to it. He seemed to be entertaining himself. I mean, we need to help. We used his kitchen. The least we could do is help clean up. He gave you a silent smile of gratitude as you picked up one of the rags and the bottle of cleaner. You didn't exchange words. There was no need. Suddenly, there was a bright, tinkling sound. It jolted you out of whatever thought you had been having. Baxter's hand went to his back pocket. The timer on his phone had run out.
Exciting.
The cakes are done. He was genuinely excited by the prospect, hastily jabbing at his screen to turn off the alarm, then grabbing a nearby pair of oven mittens with pictures of cats on. Pair that with his eye shirt? They must have belonged to the owner of the condo, rather than Baxter himself, since the fabric was a deep red color. The cats were all black and white though. You suppose that counted. Carefully, cautiously, he eased the 3 baking pans out of the oven, placing them one by one onto the granite counter. He even recalled which had gone in first, second, and third, and removed them in proper order. The cakes looked good. They'd risen uniformly, and the color was nice, rich chocolate brown. They hadn't dried out either. You could see a faint, moist sheen on the surface. Ooh. Oh, that's making me hungry. I don't have snacks with me today, chat. I only have juice. No! Some of the condensation dropped into my keyboard. Let this be a lesson, chat. Don't drink, liquids in front of your computer. Have you ever tried like moist chocolate cake? I've had some from bakeries. They were so good. I prefer chocolate cakes over like icing cakes. Specifically because of the chocolate ganache. Or well, the chocolate coating, I guess. And sometimes chocolate cakes can get tiring. I get sick of it sometimes. So like 3 slices is enough, I guess, for me. Possibly 4. But yeah. In cake ranking, I'd say chocolate cake is at my top 3. Yeah, top 3. You chimed up as you admired your handiwork. Do you have anything to go underneath the pans? To protect the counter, I mean. Oh, that's a good point. I don't think there's anything here, though. It should be fine. Hopefully. The stone is real, not a veneer over less sturdy material. Baxter stared down at the cakes, his face thoughtful. Then he removed the oven gloves, folded them on the tabletop, and pinched the bridge of his nose, eyes closed.
So...
I dread to ask, but how many of these were we supposed to make? I've only now realized I never asked Terry how much food she needs. Oh, you hadn't thought of that. Well, it had been decided you'd bring cupcakes. Terry had never said anything about quantity. She simply wanted another dessert besides her cake. You explained as much to Baxter. He breathed in through his nose, and sighed deeply and opened his eyes. Perhaps that's because Terry doesn't know herself. That's understandable. The whole party was extempore to begin with. I do hope 36 is enough. Even with a spare batter, we don't have time to prepare another batch. If they're too cool and be frosted before the event. I must extend my thanks once again that you brought your family's spare tins over. Otherwise the crowd would be fighting over a paltry 12 cupcakes. You're welcome, we got lucky. Speaking of your family, you checked the clock on your phone to see how long you had bade them farewell. How long ago you bade them farewell? Wow, it had already gone past midnight. You couldn't believe it got so late. And you couldn't even start the frosting until the cakes had cooled, which might take another hour or more. You put the phone down, glancing in Baxter's direction. You were acutely aware he was doing you a favor, more than one for that matter, and you didn't want to further impose if that be an issue. You decided to put the question to him directly, as much as you were able. What would be worse? Staying up even later to finish everything tonight, or getting up bright and early tomorrow morning? Baxter's face scrunched up, his boyish nose wrinkling in distaste. Waking early, no question. Of course you knew he'd say that before you even asked, but you wanted to give him the choice. It's fine, don't worry. I'll stay awake as long as needed to see this endeavor through. I understood what I was signing up for when I offered to help, more or less. Though I honestly don't mind if you head home and get some rest. I can idle around until the cakes have set, and then, well, you know, the rest. Until today, I've never baked before, and by extension, I am 99% certain I've never frosted a cake before either, but I can manage. He cleared his throat, crossing his arms with finality. The point is, I don't intend to quit until the end. Bitter, but hopefully not bitter in taste, and... Well, after such a rousing speech, I can't exactly abandon you. I guess someone needs to make sure you don't make a mess of things. I could never make you do all that by yourself, Baxter. You sighed, somewhat resigned. You weren't getting out of this either. You nodded firmly, resolved to stay and help. Oh, well, after such a rousing speech, I can't exactly abandon you.
I appreciate the understanding.
I appreciate it greatly. Both your continued company and your help. We'll get through this with, what was it? The awesome and terrible power of teamwork. Bow down. Of course, all hail. The commitment made, you decided to put the cakes in the freezer for a short while to help speed the cooling process along. The 3 thins fit snugly inside. Nothing left to do but wait. I wonder how Terry's cake is coming along. This has been nice. You know, this was actually pretty fun. I wonder how Terry's cake is coming along. Is that a note of concern I hear? I wouldn't fret about it if so. I imagine she'll settle for nothing less than a total success. I haven't known her long, however, Terry strikes me as a force of nature that few things could impede. Once she's set her mind on a course of action. Guess that summed up Terry pretty well. You could put your faith in her that way. The fact that Baxter had picked up on it only after a few conversations put your heart at ease. Baxter pressed firmly against the freezer door, making positively sure it had been shut. He then tapped at his phone, setting another timer, before glancing in your direction.
Well,
Since we need to wait a while longer, why don't we take this opportunity to rest? You're welcome to use either the couch or a chair in the living room. His voice was sympathetic, laced with care. You'd been tired earlier. After all this entire extra work, you were exhausted. I'll take a rest on the couch then. Of course, please go right ahead. Oh, before you go, he held up a hand, gesturing vaguely about. I'd almost forgotten where we were. I'll join you shortly, but can I bring you anything refreshing to drink? I was about to get myself a little something. Oh, just some water is okay.
certainly.
I'll bring a glass along. You made your way into the sitting area, making yourself at home on the generously sized couch. It was unexpectedly comfortable. For one so fashionable. The house was built on an open plan, to the extent that you could still see Baxter over in the kitchen from where you were waiting. He opened one of the cabinets and took out something that looked suspiciously like one of the plastic champagne flutes you and Terry had brought earlier. That's a long sentence! That's a long-running sentence. I have an inkling of a suspicion that this game was written not to be read out loud. This was intended to be read quietly, not out loud. And here I am on stream reading it out loud. That's a really long sentence, and I didn't even have time to breathe. Except that one was real glass. From the fridge, he fetched a large green bottle from a side shelf, which you hadn't spotted before. He needed to screw a cork off the top. Out of it poured a fizzy liquid, pale gold in color. How did you even get that, actually? How did you buy that? Do people ID you when you buy liquor at the store in America? Surely they do. Surely they do, right? Champagne? Because you're not, anyone under the drinking age is not allowed to buy alcoholic drinks, here in my country. So surely, in America, that's a thing too, right? I don't know. Wait, is that real champagne? You're actually drinking in front of our newborn couple? Okay. What is that? Sparkling cider? Are you even old enough to drink that? Why am I not surprised? You're actually drinking in front of our newborn cupcakes?
Yeah.
Correct. The reply came immediately, without so much as a glance in your direction. He had no compunction about what he was doing. Can I try? Oh. Have your own fun, I guess. Oh, Baxter. Having poured his drink, Baxter set about procuring your water. He pointedly used a plain mug rather than a second champagne glass. Then he took both drinks in hand. He carefully navigated his way out of the kitchen and perched himself on one of the chairs. He took the drinks he held out, then he clinked your glasses together and raised one he had to his mouth. We'll keep this between us, alright? His lips curled mischievously. But look at me drinking on the job. What a shameful way to start my new party planning occupation. Pro bono, naturally. Cheers, Mori. He took a long, slow sip of his champagne, closing his eyes and savoring the taste. He smacked his lips and let out a low, "Ah, I'm enjoying it." That hits the spot. Much better than the thing they called a baby Bellini. Though you wouldn't have admitted it, the laid-back manner with which he handled such a illicit topic was rather beguiling. Maybe you had a bit of a soft spot for the bad boys. We tried dating one of the good boys back in step 2. So, maybe we're an all-rounder. Or, well, Victor Orange Slice tried to date Derek, and Mori is now trying to date Baxter. And then a third character will be dating Cove for the wedding DLC. Yeah. Your thoughts snagged on something Baxter had said a moment ago. His joke about drinking while on the clock. In a certain sense, you reasoned, it wasn't so much of a joke after all. Baxter had readily committed to helping you and Terry organize Miranda's party at extremely short notice. He dedicated himself to the endeavor not just today, but tomorrow as well. All that for a group of people he'd only recently come to know. You got a very cute, thick accent. Oh, whoa, the tracking just cut off. Hello, sorry I surprised you with a close-up. Hello. Hi, Usagi. Welcome in. Thank you? Question mark. I have an accent. This accent comes out of me whenever I'm talking non-stop for 2.5 hours. Why are you trying so hard for people you just met? Oh, that's a loaded question. Are you really enjoying yourself with the party stuff? Thanks for being so helpful with all of this. This is a pretty unique experience, huh? Sorry for taking up so much of your time. Thanks for being so helpful with all of this. Baxter didn't meet your gaze, his eyes wandering around the room as he gently swirled the champagne in his glass. He took another slow sip before answering. Intentionally dramatic.
My pleasure.
You're welcome, Mori. Although I feel very strongly that your gratitude is unnecessary. If anything, I should be thanking you for making me a part of it. I couldn't have devised a more pleasant way to spend my time here, even if I tried. And to be frank, I have tried. I didn't come to Sunset Bird totally devoid of any plans or ideas. You and your friends have invited me to participate in an event with great significance to you. It's a profound gesture to show to a relative stranger. When it's over and I'm long gone from here, I hope you can all look back on this party for years to come, maybe for the rest of your lives, and treasure the memory. And if I am part of that memory, then that is satisfaction enough. Though perhaps I'm in danger of giving my contribution too much credit. He was smiling, but it was muted. It was a muted, distant thing. Like a car headlamp seen a long way off, ready to turn a corner. It felt akin to a farewell, even though he wasn't leaving yet. The glimmer was gone as his eyes met yours over the rim of his champagne flute.
You know,
Besides, I'm on vacation. I have nothing but day after day of generous free time. It would be silly to begrudge it being used, especially if it's easier for me. This party is only a party from my perspective, which means I can put my head back and simply bask in the occasion with the highs and lows. For you and your friends, this is important. It has weight. I have to say, I'm curious about the situation. You and Terry are both determined to make this a big event, but for all that, it seems a rather one-off affair. Not wishing to sound critical, but if you were in the regular habit of throwing each other parties, I would have expected better preparation for, well, the preparation.
to be honest,
Is there something about this specific birthday that warranted such a special affair? You found yourself taken aback by this. It wasn't like you hadn't thought about it either. You'd been doing as much earlier tonight, but what with the rush to get all the ingredients and baking the cakes, you'd been distracted since then. All at once, the feelings you'd suppressed bubbled back up to the surface. Slowly, hesitantly, you began to talk. This might be the last birthday we get to celebrate together. I've known Cove basically my whole life. Terry and Randy not as long. Still, they're important to me. Soon we'll be grown up and we'll head off to different places in life. There's nothing we can do to change that, but Terry was so determined to go out with a bang, and I couldn't let her shoulder the burden on her own. We have to do what we can for each other, while we still can anyway. As he listened to your explanation, Baxter regarded you with a solemn expression. There was a pinch in his forehead where his eyebrows had come together. He was all sympathy.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you're going through a difficult experience. I wish I knew how to alleviate matters. It's so uncertain. Sadly, there are few, if any, guarantees in the world. Or rather, such is the case for the vast majority of us. I can believe there are people who can remain close to each other in spite of distance and years between them. Those who will remain in your life. Oh man, this is like an important line and I fumbled it. This is like game title importance of a line and I fumbled it. Chat, how do I recover from this? Do I just retake it? Do you just redo the line? Yeah, let's redo the line. Those who will remain in your life always. His countenance had softened, a faint hopefulness lighting his face as moonlight on the water. He spoke with tenderness.
I believe you will find those kinds of people.
I believe you will find those kinds of people, Mori. I really do. And while nobody can say for sure, I'd bet you already have. Baxter, thank you for listening. I think I've found them too. Hope you can have someone like that as well. Are you saying you'll be true to me always? Do we? I can't believe Mori dropped the ball. Hello, Bonsai. Actually, Hold on. Bonsai, are you still there? Would you like to join voice chat because I need another voice in my head because I'm going insane. Impromptu voice open VC. I didn't realize it was Bonsai that typed that. It's Bonsai. Would you like to join the voice chat? Proceeds to. Oh man, I just saw the Discord. Oh my god. Hold on. Open VC. streaming. Oh well, Olba. Baxter. DLC. Over there. Oh my god. Huh? Hold on. No! Chat, can you still hear me? It won't crash if I don't click the crash log, right? Is it still running? Oh, No, we can't hear you. Yeah, it won't. It won't crash if I just don't click on the crash log, right? It's still running, right? I need to check on my phone. Okay, yeah, it's still running. I'm just not gonna click that crash message and just keep running. Because why would I do that? And it'll forcibly close my OBS. OBS has crashed. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. It's still running, and I'm still streaming, and it's still running on my on YouTube. Pretend that your problems aren't there. Yeah, it's not here. It's not here. I only got 10 minutes left. Oh my god. There's still the birthday party. We're not even done with this midnight baking thing. It's already 5 p.m. Chat! Chat! Can I do like 5:30? I think I can. Maybe. We have to speedrun this. No more tangents. This is fine, fire. No! No! You yapped half the time more. No! No more tangents! No more tangents! I just wanted this to finish this in one like stream, but it's like really long. No! Thank you for listening. I'm here. Oh my god, I even talked over his voice line.
I'm here for you.
I must sound quite the broken record by now, but you're very welcome. It's the least I could do for you. Maybe it was partly due to the lateness of the hour, or the ordeal you were both wading through, but you were overcome with a strong surge of affection for Baxter. He'd be the first to play it down, but you knew the memories of your time with him were going to be precious indeed. You were grateful to have met him, you thought. You pulled him into a hug. You slowly drew closer and kissed him. Chat! Well, which one do we pick, chat? Are we still running? Is it still live? I think so. I'm going to assume so. What do we pick, chat? Do we just pull him into a hug? Let's hug. Give him a hug. Baxter simply wrapped his arms tight around you and kind. You held each other for a while. You could feel his heart beat through his chest. He smelled of powdered sugar and champagne. There was a long pause. The only sound was the faint whisper of a car passing by, the gurgle of the fridge in the kitchen. Ah! The two of you jumped in surprise as Baxter's phone went off like a shot in the night. It was the alarm he'd set when you put the cakes in the freezer. He shakily turned it back off and getting up from his seat. A few seconds hesitation and then... Well now, those cupcakes had better be ready. Hello? No, it wasn't caught on stream. My Discord, my Discord was like muted on OBS. Hello, it's Bonsai. No.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Oh my god. Bro. Alright.
This company real.
Time for cake decorating.
Nice.
Have you ever decorated a cake before, Bonsai?
I think. Well, do cookies count? Like the size of her face?
Huh? Huh? The size of your face? Huh?
I made cookies the size of her face.
What
and,
the?
chunks of chocolate in the middle. It was amazing.
Who are you talking to? Huh? Is this just a voice in my head?
This is the voice in your head, Mori.
No! No! Mori, huh? Huh?
Hang on. Testing.
No,
Yeah,
Neil's just
it's my life.
gaslighting me. Neil's just
Oh.
gaslighting me.
Do you not see the green markable plushie on the screen right now?
The bright green plushie.
Yay. Hey, O'Neill.
But right, cookie's the size of your face. What the hell?
Yeah.
Marketable
great,
plushies. Yeah, my mod is a marketable plushie.
Yeah.
Alright, back to the game. It had the
Back to the
vaguely dangerous quality of a threat, which was so absurd after the past few minutes that you couldn't help but giggle. After resting a bit, you found that you had more energy. You made to follow Baxter a spring in your step as well. You were rather sleepy. You could keep going though. Yeah, it's midnight. And then it was like a whole day of shopping and then baking. Oh.
Oh, damn.
But this was it. The final stretch before the finish line. You left the living room and returned to the kitchen, where Baxter popped open the freezer. You retrieved the bowl of frosting and a plastic bag for piping, along with the tubes of glitter Terry had given you hours ago. We can each take half and do the frosting and dusting in one go, right? Wish me luck. Gotcha. Good luck. You both set about this last task with a grim determination. You work quickly, not sharing any conversation or otherwise distracting from the job at hand. Back to the game was said like 10 times this stream. No! 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 Not like this! Don't call me out like that! Neil!
Oh my goodness.
You frosted and dusted and frosted and dusted, each of the 36 cupcakes being lined up along the counter as they were completed.
Oh.
Oh,
Ooh.
drat. Make that 35. The singleton Baxter dropped, splattered helpless on the kitchen floor. There was a break in the frosting, a moment of respect for cake now lost. Then you both shrugged.
No.
Rest in peace, cupcake. One extra cupcake
And-
wasn't about to make a world of difference, though. Terry might have disagreed. What Terry didn't know wouldn't hurt her. Then the surviving cupcakes had been properly outfitted with sugar, more sugar on top of the existing sugar to be precise. You stepped back to admire your creation. It was obvious that neither of you had any special gift for the art of cake decoration, but hey, they probably still taste good. And that was the important thing, right? You two finished out 4 airtight plastic containers from a lower jar and stashed the cupcakes inside. Lids were closed, boxes were in the fridge, and finally, the door was shut. It was finished. You had survived. You checked the time. It was almost 2 in the morning.
Oh my
2
goodness.
a.m. making cupcakes with the bros. Looking for
To be honest, that's like a
beans.
normal night for me.
Normal time for you? What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I sleep until 4.
Huh?
I'm up until 4, Mori.
What? Why?
It's okay. I have a fucked up sleep schedule. I'll be
My
honest
God.
with you. I need to fix.
You could have almost cried from joy. Baxter rubbed his tired eyes, then massaged his temples. I have a newfound respect for bakers everywhere. I shall look forward to having all my future life events professionally catered, even if it costs a fortune. He stared down at the miserable remains of the casualty cupcake on the tile.
Never.
Never again. 5 p.m. Mori. No! We're going 5:30. We're going 5:30. We're going 5:30, chat.
Let's go.
We're speed running. You laugh. The sight too funny for you to keep a straight face. Ignore the mess. I can take care of it. I'll see you back to your house. I fear your parents might be worried that you've been out so late. You reassured him that it was fine. Your moms knew you were just across the street, and you said it might take a while. You weren't concerned. Baxter was relieved to hear it. The journey home was a blur, a disconnected sequence of images. As promised, Baxter walked with you to the steps of it, from the steps of his condo across the road. You remember the welcoming glow of the porch light, the wave Baxter gave you as the front door closed. You ambled through your childhood home in the dark, by feel and instinct alone. You counted the stairs in silence, tiptoed into your room, and approached the bed. And then... you jerked awake with a start. There was a loud knocking coming from your bedroom door. Oh my god, we passed out. We passed out.
How are you?
Kiddo, you awake? You were in your bedroom. You were pretty sure about that anyway. 80% positive at least. You were too drowsy to come up with any more creative place to be. But besides the basic and likely fact of existing in your bedroom, you found that you hadn't the faintest idea what was going on. There had been a voice, right? You remember the voice. Terry phoned the house earlier, but you missed her. There it was again, your mom's voice. As you slowly blinked awake, realization came to you in stages. You recalled the events of yesterday. The lived sensations swam in your memory. A frantic afternoon of planning, of shopping, of sugar.
So much sugar.
So much sugar. At some point, you had ended up in your bed and asleep, but you didn't recall setting an alarm. Terry had said she'd pick you up at 7 this morning, so she was your wake-up call for the day. You threw the covers off, getting out of your bed as noisily as you could manage. Alright, I'm up! Standing in the middle of your room, your mind blank. Then you scrunched up your face really tight and allowed your brain to form a coherent thought. That's me in the morning. Miranda's birthday. It was Miranda's birthday. You hastily changed into a fresh set of clothes, tried to tame your bedhead as best you could, and then raced downstairs. You bade your moms a quick farewell.
Have fun.
Have fun, sweetie. And say happy birthday to Miranda from us, okay? You had barely enough time to yell a quick thank you over your shoulder before you were out the front door. When you stepped outside, Cove was there waiting for you on the sidewalk. The number of times you left the house to find him there, it sometimes made you wonder if he lived on your sidewalk. Man. Hold on, I need to take a drink. I've been talking nonstop.
Hydrate. Everyone else also as well, hydrate.
Hydrate. He hadn't the faintest trace of sleepiness on him, but then Cove rarely did. He was a tiny sun at any time of day, but mornings were when he shone the brightest. You exchanged your usual greetings, but rather than stop to chat, you kept on walking by. As you explained to him, the cakes were at Baxter's place, and you needed to go pick them up. Oh, alright. Cove didn't tag along, content to leave you to your own devices. That made sense. He wasn't yet at the point of seeking out Baxter's company willingly, and wasn't likely to start right now. My body can't handle one drop of water right now. Why? Why, Nil? Is it because you ate too many snacks? Now you're too full? When you knocked on Baxter's door, it popped right open like your meager taps had knocked it off its hinges. Hi, Baxter.
Nice to see you.
Good morning. I've been expecting you. You had gotten that impression. He moved aside in the hallway to let you pass, and you strode briskly into the condo. He followed you into the kitchen, where you found the cakes in their containers, stacked on the countertop. The big day is, finally here. Excuse me. His composure had been broken with an enormous yawn, the size you hadn't seen since the coffee shop. Hey, I'm just wondering, what time did you go to bed last night?
Honestly.
Truthfully, I didn't make it to bed. You weren't surprised by now.
Oh no.
Baxter was just like that, but you still felt a pang of guilt. You were putting him through the ringer with this party. It's not an issue. I felt rather rough after I finished cleaning yesterday, and took the liberty of having a nice long shower. I also prefer to avoid going to bed with damp hair. But no sooner had I gotten dry than I realized I wouldn't be able to get any substantial amount of sleep before I needed to be up again anyway. So I stayed awake instead.
Give this man some coffee, he needs it.
A big glass of coffee. One too many cookies with milk?
Out of red eye.
No. Milk and cookies, that's like a lullaby snack. You're going to bed with that!
Who are you, Santa Claus?
Who are you, Santa Claus? Man! Seriously? You're wild. I barely slept either. I hope you don't feel unwell or anything. Maybe try to take a nap sometime today? I'll see what I can do.
Now.
Enough about me. Let's take these delicacies outside and wait for Terry. She texted me earlier to let me know she was on her way. I imagine you received a similar message. Terry had indeed sent you a message, although it was too early in the day to be hit with something with so many exclamation points. How much sleep had she gotten? He picked up 2 of the waiting boxes, leaving you to carry the remainder. You didn't linger, heading straight for the front entrance. Baxter came out behind you with the key. He had trouble with the logistics, eventually resorting to balancing the containers in one hand like a serving tray before closing and locking the door with the other. Back on the street, Cole was still loitering on the street by the front gate, blissfully unaware of what secret party planning committee had gone through for this. Blissfully unaware of the late night baking session. We cooked, Cove, we cooked it. Baxter called over to him, full of characteristic good cheer. Good morning, neighbor. Hey. Cove's response was quiet, more distracted than aloof. He was peering with interest at the boxes you were carrying. He had hopes about their contents. Oh, he cares more about the food. Oh, Cove. Everyone eats milk and cookies, Bonsai? Okay.
Fair, but also it's the festive season. Of course, I had to make that
it's the most wonderful time of the year to eat milk and cookies. The plastic was kind of foggy and translucent, so it wasn't quite possible to tell what was inside. But Cove intuited that whatever it was edible. The boy was like a shark sometimes.
See?
My friend, you are looking at 35 of the finest freshly baked chocolate cupcakes with cream cheese frosting. Cove's face visibly lit up at the word cake, as if he'd been offered one already. This man loves cake. I mean, who doesn't?
Man.
Me too. He's just like me for real, for real. That's why we're gonna marry him in another playthrough.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's another like 12 more hours.
No. I'm gonna go through the entire thing offline and then just show the wedding DLC. That's all you need to see essentially.
Okay.
If you want to see actual Cove romancing, go play the game. It's free.
Let's go.
That's great. I believe Terry is also bringing a proper birthday cake from home as well. Cove's smile grew even wider. You hoped Baxter was taking notes. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach was a phrase you suspected had originally been written about Cove. The promise of treats was far and away the most exciting aspect of any party, at least to him. Your childhood companion was so silly you thought it provided you with most of a lifetime's worth of entertainment for free. We get to laugh at this guy for free! For free! Mori, I don't have that much free time like you. Oh. Okay. Okay, busy bee, alright. In fact, someone had tried to pay you to have it. Those won't be the only sweets either. There's going to be a chocolate fountain too. Cove's mouth formed a perfectly round O, and you thought you could see sparkles in his eyes. Or maybe they were sprinkles.
Yeah?
What are you guys bringing to dip in it? Strawberries? Marshmallows? Banana slices? Pretzels? Fondue! Wait, no. Chocolate. Chocolate fondue.
Great choices.
While Cove was busy listing every single item he thought might reasonably taste good, drenched in liquefied chocolate, it struck you that you didn't know what the answer to this question was. Was Terry handling that? Were you supposed to have thought of something? You exchanged nervous glances with Baxter, who shifted uncomfortably from one foot to the other. Very not good. Baxter didn't have a clue either, which could only mean that you had never even discussed the matter with Terry yesterday. It was the cupcake quantity quandary all over again. Your shoulders slumped. You had honestly never anticipated organizing a party would involve coordinating so many different things. Your mind simply couldn't keep track of it all. Seeing your distress, Baxter slipped into his usual mode of cool cucumberness. Let's think about this. Terry took the fountain home with her, so we can sensibly assume she had taken charge of it, and by extension, the offerings to dip into the fountain. However, time isn't on our side, and luck has not been either. In order to be 100% absolutely crystal clear about the matter, we should text her and ask. Although if she's currently driving... He trailed off, a hint of anxiety managing to mar even his carefully schooled demeanor. You all exchanged a new set of nervous glances. Cove joining in this time, this problem was one even he could worry about. We could grab stuff, our houses are right here, and you know what Terry's like. If she knew what she was gonna do, she would have said so already. Baxter inclined his head in agreement, bending down to place his box of cakes on the ground near the condo's front entrance. Then he straightened, pulling himself up to his full height.
Fine.
Whoa, wait, that's a new voice line. Hold on, I didn't hear that. Did he just say fine? Fine.
Fine.
Oh, what a drama queen. Fine. We're going to go to our houses to retrieve some suitable samplers. Terry will arrive and take us to the venue, and there will be no further problems. His voice resonated with a forceful air of finality. This was perhaps the closest you'd seen to Baxter losing his temper. Then he added, as an afterthought, unless of course we are hit by a car on the way there, but quite frankly, I will be much too tired to care about dying by then. I'm too tired to care about getting into a car accident and dying. Let's settle this. He was right. It had to be done. You simply put your box of cupcakes next to Baxter's. Then the three of you made a run for it, each going your separate ways. You dashed over the road and hopped inside your house, heading directly for the kitchen. You opened the cabinets at random, racking your brain for anything to bring. What would be good in a chocolate fountain? You wish you'd paid more attention to what Cove had been saying earlier. Though you did remember to swipe a bunch of ripe bananas off the counter. Then you hit the jackpot on the highest shelf of your family's cupboard. Back outside, the three of you examined the spoils of your impromptu raiding party. There were several types of assorted fruits, marshmallows, some cookies, pretzels, and a box of granola bars. That last item...
I'm questioning the last few choices there.
One of Cove's
pretzels and granola
had Baxter chuckling under his breath. A granola bar dipped in chocolate? Dang. Okay.
It's weird.
Okay.
Not bad.
I have to say, I've never heard of granola bars being dipped in a fountain before. Chocolate or otherwise.
Hey!
Hey, would you rather I brought protein bars instead? Oh, no, this is good. It will be a novel addition, not to mention easy for people to hold without a utensil. Besides, I hardly contributed at all. He gestured a little timidly at the bag of salted pretzels. His sole addition to the haul. It was all he had to bring. You saved the day by finding your mom's and Liz's special treats. 3 types of cookies and big marshmallows. They'd have to sacrifice for this event as everyone else did. Right, I brought some bags along to put everything in. I can carry those while you handle the cakes. You and Baxter both praised Cove's quick thinking and gratefully dumped everything into the bags he held out. Then you gathered up the boxes of cupcakes. You mingled about, making idle conversation about the upcoming party and trading some anecdotes with Cove about the baking process from the night before. He was especially mournful to hear about the accident that had claimed the 36th cupcake. But soon there was the telltale sign of a vehicle approaching at speed. The Brooks van pulled up alongside you, and the horn honked loudly in greeting. Terry had arrived. You could see the enormous grin on her face through the front windshield. She enthusiastically stuck her arm out of the driver's window and waved. Cove beamed and waved back.
Right.
Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Oh my god, there's a bot.
Oh.
I'll take
on,
care of
I'll
it.
fix
I'll
that.
take care of it.
Alright.
Click banned. Alright. Cheap viewers on .com. I'll get the door. Man, I've been visited by a bot. I feel so special. He pulled open the sliding door, jumping inside and striking up a conversation with Terry immediately. You clambered in after him. The car was normally spacious, but since you filled it up with party equipment yesterday, it gotten cramped. You made room for the additional food wherever you could.
Hey, buddies.
Hey buds, you ready to make like an RPG and party up? Okay, Terry.
Oh.
Make like an RPG and party up? Not
That's a good one,
really.
honestly.
Yeah, a good line. We might use that. Thanks, Terry. Were you ready with a chocolate fountain? Were you ready to have a chocolate fountain? What did you bring to dip in it? Being subjected to this accusation right out of the gate knocked Terry completely off her stride. Her expression was utterly baffled. Cove, how do you know about the chocolate fountain? I almost forgot we even had a chocolate fountain. Then Terry clapped a hand on her forehead, her eyes wide. Oh shoot! I forgot to bring stuff for the chocolate fountain! Terry started panicking, but Baxter promptly headed that off at the pass of a casual rap of his knuckles against the external wall of the van. He leaned in through the side door, having stopped short of climbing inside after you and Cove. No need to worry about it, Terry. We thought that might have happened, so we took the liberty of bringing along some offerings of our own. You guys got the goods?
Of course.
Yep, right here. Cove held up one of the bags of extra supplies he was still clutching, jiggling it enticingly. Terry placed a hand heavy on her heart. Crap, you're my saviors. But don't scare me like that. I thought this party was a bust. Don't you know how many times I've thought that in the last 12 hours? You're so lucky you're not doing this by yourself, Terry. Where would you be without us? Where would your fountain be without us? Oh yeah, you got that right. Remind me to treat you to something once this is all over. Deal.
What?
Hold on, you barely did anything yet, Cove. So, he's present now, and that's thanks to him we realized what was amiss. Cove speaks for us all, I think. You have yourself a deal, Terry. Fine. Slowly but surely, you felt some of the stress from the last several hours fade away in the company of your friends. Maybe this whole thing would work out alright in the end. Baxter gently tapped the side of the vehicle again to grab everyone's attention.
Does that sound alright?
With that safely out of the way, I'll part with you three here. I'm going to drive along behind my own car if that's alright. Okay, sure. That's cool with me, man. Terry didn't really get what Baxter was doing, but she wasn't about to start raising objections. A brief glance at the two of you confirmed that neither you nor Cove had a clue between you either. Splendid, I'll see you very soon. He punctuated his farewell by shutting the van door, leaving you and Cove to buckle yourselves in. Terry watched in the rear-view mirror as Baxter approached his vehicle and got inside. Once he fastened his seatbelts and flashed her a quick thumbs up, she pulled the van in drive and pulled out. Baxter followed suit, and the four of you were off. You sat with the boxes of cupcakes stacked precariously on your lap, your arms wrapped around the sides to prevent the tower from toppling. You were hyper-aware of every last dip and bump in the familiar roads like you'd never been before. As you went along, Terry laid out the plan when you arrived.
Alright.
So, the idea is to make sure we get all the snacks and drinks and that stuff ready first, in case we miss anything or anything else. Then we gotta decorate everything as fast as physically possible before noon, basically. That's when people should start showing up. We're gonna order some sandwich platters and salad bowls and stuff on delivery. Those should be there for people to eat along with the cake, sorta like late lunch.
Oh.
I can feel my nose closing up from talking too much.
Oh, please hydrate again, please, Mori.
Hydrate. Hydrate. I'm okay. I'm okay.
You don't sound okay, Mori.
Oh, and by we, I mean Randy's mom and dad. We're off the hook for that part. She threw her head back and whooped with glee, a sound that was pure and clear as the morning. You felt her inspector's enthusiasm. She continued. Anyways, Randy doesn't want to have her party drag on forever, and we'll need time to clean up before the place closes, so we're gonna wrap things up with the event before dinner. When the guests are gone, we'll have until 10 before we get kicked out of the room. Now, I won't sugarcoat it, or even chocolate coat it. Team, it's gonna be a long day for all of us. Oh, that means it's a lot more. There's more to read. Just don't forget, Randy's gonna be amazed. It's all worth it. It'll be all worth the effort. I just know it. You closed your eyes, leaning back against the seat of the van. Terry was speaking the truth, of course, about all of it. It was all gonna be another grueling day. But you had your friends and you were grateful. To be huddling in the back of a van surrounded by a mountain of bags and 35 cupcakes in your lap. To be alive. To be there. You might have been in some danger of falling asleep again, sitting down for too long. But before you nodded off, Terry was parking in the van in the lot outside a large building. It looked like it hosted generic offices rather than parties. You couldn't judge a book by its cover, apparently. We're here, everybody out! On command, you and Cove dutifully climbed out of the van. Baxter was pulling up in his car, having managed to stick close to Terry the whole way. When your group had reassembled there was a brief exchange of greetings. Terry wasn't in the mood to dawdle and clapped her hands together. Time to get moving, people! We've got a whole party truck to unload. Imagine having a party truck. Aye aye, Captain. As you command, sir.
Sure.
Sure. You and Terry carried your respective desserts while Cove and Baxter worked together to take a folded table from the back of the van. Terry led the way to the rented room. You peeked your head around the cupcake container and got your first look at the party space. Ooh, it's pink!
Ooh,
It's pink!
that is very pink. And fancy too.
It seriously was perfect for this, and exactly as Terry had originally described. Shiny, pretty, and pink. On Terry's direction, the boys put the table down in what would eventually be the refreshment section of the party. They extended the legs and flipped it upright. Once it was stable on its feet, Baxter was quick to cover the surface with one of the golden tablecloths. It was ready to go. Ever so carefully, you set your plastic chest of bejeweled consumables down. When the opaque lids came off, the revealed frosted tops were still intact. On closer inspection, you could tell a few of the cupcakes on the left side of the container were slightly smushed, but the glitter coating hadn't rubbed off, so no one else would notice the imperfection. Ah! Terry's gleeful exclamation came from over your shoulder. She'd caught sight of you and Baxter's handiwork.
Very nifty.
That's what I'm talking about. The white cake with bits of rainbow confetti on her hands was the one element that was out of place with the theme. It was entirely unglamorous, a relic of more childlike birthdays. But that's why you were certain Miranda would adore it. She hadn't completely outgrown old favorites. Terry put it next to the cupcakes and gave you a big thumbs up. You had everything you needed, and the biggest potential disasters had been avoided. You could focus on the rest of the preparation work with confidence. The whole secret party planning committee went for another run of supply gathering. Another table and piles of plastic bags were brought into the venue. On the third round, everything had made it inside. You'd carried a red cooler filled with chilled sparkling cider. Terry hid that under the covered table until later. Then all four of you sat around the lit-up dance floor taking stuff out of the bags and sorting it into piles. Things for food on one half of the room and decorations on the other. Terry and Cove were both cross-legged. Baxter kept his legs stretched out. It was kind of like being a kid on Christmas, except instead of opening gifts, it was things you'd have to set up. And instead of piles of wrapping paper all around, it was plastic. Thank you for shopping bags. You still had plenty of fun, especially after it was somehow decided that Cove Holden was the perfect hook for the feather boas. Oh no, he has all the feather boas. There's like maybe more than 30. One after another was tossed over his shoulders and into his lap until he looked like a multicolored big bird. Cove accepted the assignment with only a moderate amount of complaining. Ah yes, good. Only a moderate amount of complaining. When the supplies were completely unpacked, Terry surveyed the collection of plates, napkins, utensils, and plastic cups, and such. She announced that she'd handle the snack and drink arrangements. She delegated you, Baxter, and Cove to do everything else with the room. After a salute, Terry left the circle and headed to her station. From under his cloak of feathers, Cove got busy snapping off tags and removing casings. You and Baxter followed his lead. The emptied bags were repurposed for holding trash. Peacefully and productively, your little team worked away on different tasks, until a groan of frustration echoed through the air. You glanced towards the opposite side of the room. Terry was shaking the chocolate fountain like she was trying to get a prize to fall out of it. Technical difficulties? Oh no. Baxter stated the obvious.
Oh, no,
Everyone in the room was aware of Terry's struggles. Not to worry, I have a bit of experience with those beasts. I should be able to offer some assistance. He announced his intentions as he got up. There wasn't much left that had packaging, and you wanted to make sure everything was alright. So you decided to go see Terry too. Cove was left to hold down the fort. He shrugged and one of the boas slipped down his back. You crossed the floor together, and with a wave, Baxter spoke out to the woman hunched over a table. Hello. Terry sprung up at the sound. Her face was despairing, and she skipped right past the greeting. How do you use this thing? You add the chocolate and it's supposed to go, right? Because it's stuck going. Baxter. Baxter pursed his lips and cocked the hip, considering. Basically, yes, you added the melted chocolate into the machine and turn it on. It takes a minute, but it should start to flow. We can troubleshoot. Wait. Melted chocolate? She released her clutch on the fountain. Doesn't it melt when you put it in? A pinch of frustration made Baxter wince. It was only momentary. Then he was smiling, placatingly. He had to deliver bad news as pleasantly as possible. To use a chocolate fountain, the chocolate must be melted ahead of time. It won't cook in the machine. Those novelties aren't that sophisticated.
What?
What? I didn't know that. I didn't know that you didn't know that. I should have asked. I should have known. I should have been the one to set it up in the first place. Baxter's regrets grew and grew.
Forgive me.
You've never used the one before and I have. The both of them dropped their faces with a sigh, though the dramatics of their actions were on entirely different levels. Baxter's dejection was subtle, restrained. Meanwhile, Terry could have exaggerated her misery more. Oh! Headpats! Hello, Ariel! Oh my god,
Oh yeah, by the way, it's like 5:30 right now.
Ah, it's 5:30! No!
It's 5:30 right now, Mori!
Maybe I'll end once we get to the parking lot. Okay, there's going to be a parking lot scene. I'm going to end stream once we get there. once we get to the parking lot. Okay. It's almost there! We're almost there! I can quit! I'm having trouble talking as it is anyway. Did you know that I got a crash log from OBS, and if I touch it, it'll actually close my OBS and the stream will end. So I gotta do things carefully. So I need to keep streaming up until I can end it. I'm gonna end it on a cliffhanger, guys.
I mean, you can't do anything about it at this point.
After Baxter used his own money to get it, and all the trouble you went to finding treats that could be used in it, the fountain ended up a useless metal tower. There has to be some way to make that thing work. I give up. The universe does not want a chocolate fountain at this party. I'm sorry, I didn't know either. I think I hate fountains with edible things now. You had to laugh at how disastrous it all was. Oh well.
I'd go for the laugh, honestly, if it were me.
Well, oh man, I mean, I would do that too. Like, wow, I'm so dumb.
No.
We're all the fool. Baxter straightened himself up. Like an actual professional, he viewed the situation from an objective distance and could get a perspective on the more emotionally attached Terry. It's not too late quite yet. This is a temporary hitch. I will take the chocolate somewhere it can be melted and come back. I'll need some way to keep it warm during the trip.
Well,
Perhaps a thermos would work. Would you be able to find a thermos and melt the chocolate before the party starts? He chuckled, a hand over his mouth. That's highly unlikely, but all you need to do is enjoy other parts of the event first. Dance, drink, eat one of the lovely cupcakes. Then he flicked his wrist, gesturing away from his face. I'll return at some point during the evening and the fountain will go up then. We can even act as if it was intentional to bring it out later.
very well.
Ideally, the fountain can accompany the serving of the cake. No one has to know it was a problem factor. Oh, you're a real champ. Well, we don't have any other options. Maybe we should give up. But you'd miss so much of the party. Oh, I mean, if he's offering...
Yeah, no, right?
He's offering to sacrifice his time to party to get that chocolate melted. You're a real champ, Baxter. He inclined his head humbly, all the while grinning. As flexible as I usually prefer to be, there are some situations where I can be surprisingly stubborn. This is one of them. Terry gripped her chest, overcome by such loyalty and dedication.
Thank you.
B-man, you are the man. We'll finish getting ready and keep the party going until you make it.
Excellent.
Excellent. Godspeed. It could be understated what a stroke of luck it was to have someone like Baxter Ward on the committee.
Take care.
Take care. And with that, he sauntered out of the room, a bag of unmelted chocolate in his hand and a smile on his face. Good lord. In time, with the shutting of the door, Terry smacked her palm against the table definitively. This is gonna be the best party I've ever done no matter what. Cause it's gonna be the only party I'll ever throw. Never again.
Wow.
Next time, somebody else is gonna have to be in charge. I'll just help. I thought this was a team effort, you joked. Well, don't look at me, I'm not gonna be the party planner either. That's the best idea you've had so far. I thought this was a team effort, you joked. It is, but it had to be somebody's idea. For the first and last time, it was mine. I guess. Come on, Mori, he's not gonna let us down, and we can't stop either. Let's finish this. Yeah. He spun around only to come face to face with a fluffy cove. He'd buried himself further in the feather boas and began fiddling with a balloon he must have inflated. Right. Cove was left to wait alone the entire time. He stared awkwardly, as did Terry.
What's wrong?
Is everything alright? We can only hope, Cove. We can only hope. Okay. Cove left it at that, not any more informed or assured. And so the party decorating continued with one less person. More balloons were blown up and placed about. Streamers were strung up, and you even moved a bench from a corner to the center stage. It would act like a makeshift throne for the queen of the day. Finally, all the trash bags were carted out of the event space and tossed into a dumpster outside. The three of you returned and stood in the center of the now cleared dance floor and admired your handiwork. Wall to floor, floor to ceiling. I can't speak anymore.
Oh, no.
Actually, I might end this before the surprise.
Neat.
It looks good. It does.
Yeah.
It actually does. Terry was beaming wider than you'd ever seen after a day and a half of almost non-stop preparations. You'd pulled off something pretty great. It was certainly a homemade arrangement by a group of friends at the last minute, but that was half the charm. Your efforts were easy to see. You sat in a row along the edge of the stage, resting, waiting before the big event. No one talked. Cove tapped his foot. Until finally, Terry's phone went off. Ah! Okay, and with that, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here. Freedom!
Goodness.
We'll end it on a cliffhanger.
Nice.
Alright.
What's up for this weekend?
Ow.
Ooh.
What's up next? An art stream on Friday. Bad? Why? I've been going at this for how long now? 3.5 hours, chat!
Oh my goodness. 3.5
I
hours,
can't do
really?
this anymore!
We were so close to the 4-hour mark. No.
I can't do this! I can't keep going until 6, man! Bruh. I'm going back to playing Oxygen Not Included.
Actually, how about an Oxygen Not Included stream?
I can't
Mori?
stream it! I can't stream it! My
No!
computer will die!
No.
Oh, jeez. Oh no. Oh god. Alright. That's it for today. That's it for today, guys. 5-hour stream. No! No! I might start early.
5-hour stream.
What if the next Baxter stream is like starts at 1 p.m. I started at 2 p.m. and this is still like it still isn't over.
What the heck?
It's because I've been going through tangents. I'd be asleep. Neil taking a nap. I see.
Just wake up earlier.
Well, I don't think I would want like a 1 p.m. stream either because I usually try to take a rest to like digest my lunch after eating. So like yeah, 2 p.m. stream. Anyway, next week I don't think I'm gonna be streaming next week or like in the next 3 weeks, I guess.
Goodness.
Because I'm gonna take a holiday break. I need to take the holiday break.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, happy Merry Christmas, question mark, Happy New Year,
Merry Christmas,
etc.
New Year, Hanukkah.
The last
whatever
stream will be on
religion.
Friday. We'll just be doing an art stream or drawing whatever because I still need to get less insane. But yeah, that's it from me. This week, there will be a Clover Cafe update. Yippee! The final update of the year before it goes on a short break for the holidays, and then
Christmas
it'll resume
update.
updating next month. Yippee! Don't use the break for oxygen not included. No. What if I want to?
Oh no.
Okay. I need to go now. Bye. Happy holidays. Can you believe it?
Holidays.
Christmas. 1 week away.
Christmas.
Christmas. 1 week away.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas.